they call it the football capital of Kansas, and with good reason. Crawford County could hardly wait for another opportunity to host the big game, and the Kansas Shrine Bowl is about to turn 49 years old. Greetings, folks, alongside Shrine Bowl Hall of Famer Stan Weber. I am Mark Ewing, and as they say, welcome to the jungle and welcome to Pittsburgh. You know, different group, different teams, but the same mission in mind.
Yeah, the motto does not change. The 49th straight year that Kansas has a Shrine Bowl for the Shriner kids, and the motto is strong legs run so weak legs can walk. It's about the Shriners Hospital, all the work the Shriners do, and also a great opportunity to play some good football.
And it's always about the opportunity to raise money for sure, and we've come up with a lot of creative ways, as the Kansas Shriners have. One of those ways is, we're going to show you in a moment, it's called a QR code. Of course, the kids are way more advanced than I am, but it's a QR code that you can pay via Venmo or PayPal, and what you need to do, it's on the crawl in the bottom portion of your screen. So take your camera and take your QR code, aim it at it. It'll show you how to contribute on Venmo. What you can do is you can send a message, pay a tribute to your hometown heroes, all the things that you can do, and it's been a pretty effective thing so far. But the next chapter, what we want to talk about is, of course, boy, you can't escape the heat. You know, that's the price you pay to be in an event like this. And Stan and I were talking prior to the pregame show beginning, and 1980 was the year Stan was elected to the Kansas Shrine Bowl, and certainly a special story about that.
Yeah, it was a great honor to be selected. I know these kids feel that. The other thing that's consistent is 1980 was one of the hottest summers ever in Kansas history. And we played at 1 o'clock in Lawrence at Memorial Stadium on the campus of KU. I think it was the hottest game ever, but tonight we've got great competition. It's 100 degrees. Hopefully it'll cool down a little bit, but they're going to have to deal with the heat, stay hydrated, and do a lot of rotation as much as they can with these All-Stars.
And it's been a hot week. That's just the way it turned out. I will tell you, Stan, though, we have a conversation all week long with the coaches. What a great attitude. Players have a great attitude. So what we'd like to do now is take you to both camps. The West Camp held at Fort Hays State University. The East Camp held at Ottawa University. And that's what we'll do now. Let's take a visit into camp. Let's listen in on the proceedings.
The ultimate job of a D lineman is to protect the linebackers. Keep the O lineman off the linebackers. The offense has to get a first down. Means you got to get to the 12-yard line. Obviously, you have 3 plays to do it, or we're going to bring the punt team on. Ball right there at the 3. Ball at the 3, second down. Go. 2-0. 2-0. Third and 20. Who's going to be the leader out there? Get guys reset, refocused. Second down 5, ball to 35, second and 5. Team who wins the line of scrimmage on Saturday is going to win the game, I'll tell you that now. Take a knee here real quick, take a knee. Great job here. I love to see the physicality. You guys playing smart, getting after, being aggressive. I think that both sides, like I said, are starting to gel. And I can tell that based on the communication. There's a lot of talking going on, which is awesome. Here's what's going to be the next step, is the leadership component. Who's going to step up when the other team has a big play or when the offense has a negative play? Who's going to step up and rally the troops and break momentum? It's going to go fast. You're going to feel like, holy crap, we haven't done much football by the time we get to Pitt, because we'll have about 2 or 3 practices after we leave here, and it's going to go fast. So make sure we're maximizing our time here. Hey, nice job, gentlemen. Nice job.
Knowing Westside kids, they're going to work hard and get after it. And of course, I've only done it, and this is the second time I've done it, but man, these guys are working hard. They're going to be tough. They're a hardcore group. I mean, man, they're getting after it. We're going to be a tough team. We're going to be a little bit old-fashioned on offense. We're going to line up and run after you, which is kind of fits their mentality. And in defense, we're blitzing crazy and taking advantage of really what kind of kids that we have. But they're a great group of kids, and they've really pulled, probably the most impressive thing is they pulled together as a team in just really a day and a half. And this group really bonded real fast, and so that's been really cool to watch, is that they really are caring about each other, taking care of one another, pushing each other, but doing it in the right way to where, you know, if a stranger come out here, they might think, God, these guys have been together for 2 months, you know, but been together for 2 days. Hey, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, okay? Get rest, and we'll take care of you the best we can, but the sad part is it kind of got to bang, okay? That's just the nature of this deal, so. But I'm very impressed with how you're making each other better, okay? So keep doing that, all right? Keep doing that. Good player technique, now player technique, get better. Get better. Gentlemen, hey, great job. Okay, listen, you're making each other better, okay? This isn't all, you guys are all great players, so there are going to be times where the offense may not look great, but you're not blocking JV guys like you do in high school, like you're in your high school team. We're not defending JV guys, so there are going to be times when we're not going to look good. Just keep working and pushing each other. Okay, like I told the linemen, I think you guys are doing an awesome job of becoming a team, pulling together, taking care of one another, all right, and you're working hard. No buddies are going on, you're making each other better, but you all know that you got a goal, and I appreciate that. We know that all of you are working hard, and so keep doing it, okay? I'm very excited about this group. All right, say, let's break it down.
1, 2, 3, West Side!
Ever since the ads for Crawcan's amazing gigabit internet, schools of people go bananas every time they see me. There is such a thing as too chummy, am I right? I mean, should I feel guilty for wanting a normal life? Do I have to move to Finland to escape this cursed fame? Wait, does Finland have Crawcan internet? Don't get bit, get gigabit with Crawcan.
When sports injuries occur, the experts at Stormont-Vail Health provide vital services to ensure a healthy recovery. From screening and evaluations to treatment and rehabilitation, Stormont-Vail helps athletes with
getting back on the pitch,
getting back to personal records,
getting back in the set,
getting back on the court,
getting you back on the field.
Stormont-Vail, getting you back in the game.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
And welcome back to the Kansas Shrine Bowl pregame show. West versus East for the 49th time. The Kansas Masonic All-State Band is on the field, entertaining the fans at the moment. Wherever you're watching tonight, and there are several choices, cable television, you can be watching on YouTube, the World Wide Web. We've got Facebook tonight. This is certainly proof that the game has evolved, Stan, over the years. And you've been witness to a lot of games here. Is it 36 now?
Yeah, well, 36 games broadcasting. And once we start the game tonight, played in the 1980 game. So great history of being able to see what happens here. And man, the game has grown and grown. There's always been a great Shriners parade, great Shriners involvement, and good football. And then cheerleading, and then the band. But now we continue to add more and more.
And some things are traditional. Like, for example, the parade is something they hold every year. But here's a certain wrinkle. If you take a look at some of the game week events, the players got in here on Wednesday, and this is the Shriners Hospital for Children visit. And what they used to do in the old days is they would literally take a train to St. Louis with the teams to go to the Shriners Hospital, and they thought it, as it turned out, might be better just to take the patients to the players. This is John Lance Arena on the campus of Pittsburgh State University, and some of the great patients showing some of the players the obstacles that they're up against.
Yes, this is where it really enlightens the players about what they are here for. I said strong legs run so weak legs can walk. They get to meet these kids, see how much they persevere. Look at this young man run the ball. You see it over and over how they have obstacles, but the Shriners Hospital helps them to improve, have better lives, better mobility, and the football players realize, wow, these are some great kids. I can't believe that I'm going to be able to do something that supports them and gets money toward the cause.
Meanwhile, this is the Thursday night gathering. The bands, the players, the cheerleaders are all in one place, and they get the opportunity to say, hey, this is about 200 to 300 high school. Some have graduated, opportunity to play games and just have some fun. These players have been working hard. The cheerleaders have been working hard, and here's the opportunity to share some time together. And then you've heard of Big Brutus. Brutus is in southeast Kansas, and back in the day, when they were mining here, in fact, mining is really what built southeast Kansas and made it famous. This is one of the largest shovels in the world, and if you had to, like for example, build a backyard pool, that would have done it in about a minute. They would have taken the whole chunk out.
And it's electrical. I can't believe it.
And here's the Kansas Shrine Bowl golf tournament. It was held at Four Oaks Golf Course, and you didn't have to be a Shriner to be in it. A lot of foursomes played. They paid the initiation due, and really the great thing about this is all the money goes to the Shriners and an opportunity to have some fun with your best friends.
It's fun to see the Shriners together because the Shriners from the West really want their team to win, and the Shriners from the East really want their team to win. And an event like this, they can kind of talk about the upcoming game.
Meanwhile, here's the banquet. This was last night. The thing that really amazes me is, and I'm not sure the attendance last night, but there's upward toward 1,000 people that are being fed. See that? Look how large that group is. And they are literally able to seat and eat within a half an hour. There's Executive Director B.J. Harris. He's really been responsible for some of the changes. And, hey, the West and the East guys are side by side walking through there, and their parents are for this. And you pay it to buy a ticket, but it's certainly well worth it.
Yeah, it's great to see the other All-Stars, other presenters. You get to hear from people who have been through the Shrine Bowl experience like she was.
All right, that's a Shriners patient, and both teams have representatives. They hand out checks, and here's the most traditional event. This is one I really, really love. This is the parade and the pep rally. You see the East team go by. They're sitting on a hay rack, and the cheerleaders get the fans into it. This was this morning right down Broadway.
When it was really cool, like 89 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even 100 yet at this time. Everyone looks really comfortable.
But, these kids and the band members, they get to feel like they're celebrities. They really feel like, hey, this is really a special welcome.
The Shriners always feel like they're the celebrities, though, driving around these cars. How cool is that? But after the parade is over, for the first time ever, they didn't leave and go back to their dorms and get ready for the game. They got to stay around. They had a pep rally. They had an autograph session. The first time that this has ever been done in Shrine Bowl history, the organizers asked the players, what do you think of it? They said they loved it. This is going to become a new tradition year after year.
Yeah, that sounds like a way to really meet some new friends and really prove to yourself how great it is to all the work that you've put in your high school days to, hey, sign some autographs for some people who really, really think that you're an important person, and glad to have you as part of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. The cheer clinic was also part of it. Here's what this is. They have upwards to 100 cheerleaders that participate. And, it may be a fun event, but they're here to learn as well. They, in their own rights, are all-stars. This is the best of the best cheerleaders across the state of Kansas.
Well, you can tell how serious they are. They really want to learn, and so do these young players. Here they have an opportunity to go out on the field here at Pitt State, where the Shriners are going to play here in just 15 minutes or so, and they get to test themselves. How far do you throw? How far do you kick? How far do you punt the football? Get all the measurements. Run a 40. What a great opportunity and a great experience for them today.
Junior challenge. Some of the adults you see, those are members of the Pittsburgh High School football team, and I'm sure they were glad to be on hand, and I'm sure the kids were as well. So here in the jungle, also part of it, the Fan Fest. So this actually happened less than a couple of hours ago, and really just part of the day and part of the pep rally and the enthusiasm. And so, hey, and that wasn't even everything. So we're glad to share that with you, and it's been a fun week so far.
Absolutely. What great work, preparation, B.J. Harris, all the Shriners, congratulations. And now we get a chance to watch what everyone wants to focus in on. These football players start off football season, Mark, Everyone's talking about the Chiefs going to camp. This is the first football game right here tonight.
All right, still to come. Leon Liebel's going to interview Executive Director B.J. Harris. We'll hear from those two next when the Kansas Shrine Bowl pregame show continues right after this.
We've all heard what they say about us. Flyover state, middle of nowhere, a bunch of country folk. Go ahead and fly on over. There's nothing going on. Nowhere to be. And yeah, we've got a lot of hard-working, entrepreneurial, best neighbor you could ask for farm families. We're proud of Kansas, and that's why we built our entire network for it. Nextech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
Watch me. Watch me pirouette with style and grace. An open floor of inspiration. This is my place. 5 positions to start, leotard and tights. A story through movement, under music and lights. Straight and tall, they promised I'd stand. I'm a ballerina who twirls like the blades of a fan. Watch me. Innovative scoliosis treatment at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas Shrine Bowl pregame show. I'm Leon Liebel, joined now by the man who makes it all happen, the executive director of the Kansas Shrine Bowl, B.J. Harris. And B.J., it's good to see you. Every summer we start a little tradition here, meeting up and talking about this.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like having an opportunity to meet with you and make it happen. I got a lot of people to help me make it happen. I'm just kind of the guy that asks them to do it, I think, is the way it gets done. But, yeah, I'm glad to be back in Pittsburgh and looking for a good event.
Yeah, back in Pittsburgh because this is home for you, this area. And is that a little more special?
It is. I love this place. This is where I grew up. When my wife and I met each other here, we lived here for a long time, and I've had the unique experience of being the guy who bid on the Kansas Shrine Bowl when I was the director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau here, and now I'm the guy running the Kansas Shrine Bowl in Pittsburgh once again. So a very special place for me. I've spent a lot of good times in this particular stadium, and looking forward to a good event.
This is the 5th time for you as the executive director of this event. And it's been all over the state, and every community has been unique. But it seems like the reception has been pretty much the same in each community.
Yeah, I mean, people really want to put their arms around us, and they recognize what we're trying to accomplish and what we're doing with the fundraising we're doing. And they know those kids, they know those hospital ambassadors. People have just been affected. There's so many people in your life that have had services done through Shriners Hospitals, and you don't really realize it till you get to the community, and the Shrine Bowl's coming, and then they find out Shriners are coming, and then all of a sudden you find out all these people have been able to be affected by the work done by Shriners Children's.
I do want to talk about Pittsburgh, though. I know this area loves football. Pittsburgh State, all the high schools around here. Does that even make it a little more special the way they receive this event?
Yeah, football is pretty big down here. I was the guy when I was at the Convention and Visitors Bureau who had to renew the rights fee to pay for the football capital of Kansas, and so we made sure to have that renewed every year.
I did not know that.
Yep. So the Pittsburgh and Carney Smith Stadium is the football capital of Kansas, and so what a better place to have the Kansas Shrine Bowl, and they do love it. In the community, we've seen ticket sales just go through the roof here over the last few days, and I think people are going to be able to battle the heat a little bit and should fill this place up.
Yeah, we're used to the heat by now. Every summer it seems like
playing football in July. What are you going to do?
It is a game. It's a football, but we always talk too. It's more than a game. And what does the East West Shrine Bowl do?
Yeah, well, one of the things that was huge this week too was our hospital experience, and that's where all the kids got to find out about, the why behind our game, and it's just impacting the lives of kids who have faced so much adversity and overcome it. One of the most awesome things I hear when I talk to people about Shriners Children's is these kids who have, if you looked at them, think they had horrific experiences, and they all talk about Shriners children and how it was the best thing that ever happened to them. And how it's impacted their lives and how it's helped them just become better people. The best story, Sierra Brumback, who had her accident and ended up having an amputation, but then she ends up becoming a certified athletic trainer because of the work she'd done and being around the healthcare system. She decided that's the direction she wanted to go, and so it kind of changed the trajectory of her life in a good way. And so that's why people get fired up, and that's why I get fired up, and that's why we do what we do.
And not just the young guys that play in right now. I've talked to yourself. You played in this game back in 2000. They still remember it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a special moment for them.
I talked to a coach, one of our coaches who played in here 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. Heck, I played in it 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And he talked about in detail going to the hospital, meeting the kid. He knew the kid's name that he had met at the hospital. I mean, the impact that can make on somebody. And I talk about it with our players a lot that, this may not be an immediate, you're 18 years old and you got a lot going on. It may not be an immediate thing, but when you look back at your life and you have an opportunity to have this on your resume, it's a nice, strong brick in an otherwise really awesome foundation.
And can you talk about the events going around, surrounding this year's game?
We got all kinds of fun stuff, and our tailgate party is one of the cool things. It's probably about to wrap up right now, but it's a new and growing part of what we're trying to create is a game day atmosphere. If you're going to have all-star players, you want an all-star game day atmosphere, and that's what we've been doing. Golf tournament was Friday, very successful, and we've got youth Junior All-Star Challenge is a fun event. Our youth cheer camp, and they're going to be on the sidelines in the third quarter. Our kids in the cheer clinic are going to be down there having some fun, and then, our big game.
We've mentioned several times, is the 49th annual East-West Kansas Shrine Bowl. And now it's become almost a generational thing. There's fathers and sons, maybe even I'm not sure we've hit the grandfathers and grandsons yet, but we got to be getting close.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. If you're watching and you're one of those, we need to know, but so far nobody's come up with that. We've got lots of kids, lots of families. We've got the Horak family and the Sarwinski boys. Those are two kids who have all three brothers have played in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. That's on the East squad. And so, it's just growing and growing and growing. We're hoping to grow that alumni network. We're going to continue to put effort forth into that, and we really want to invite a lot of people to get out to Hayes and celebrate that 50th.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you next. Looking ahead, next year is the golden anniversary of the Shrine Bowl, the 50th at Fort Hays State, and how is planning going? Is it started
believe it
already?
or not, absolutely. Believe it or not, we start planning on that already because it's such a milestone marker, and the folks out at Visit Hayes have been great to work with, and I'm excited about seeing what they can bring to the table. We're looking forward to Hayes and making it one of those celebrations for our alumni, our band alumni, our hospital ambassadors, people that have been impacted by our services, and really show what we have to offer. We're going to do it here tonight too. 49th is going to be great, but we do want to make sure people put that on their calendar for July 15th of 2023.
We do look forward to it. I want to ask you too, are things back to normal a little more? I know 2 years ago we had the COVID situation at the peak and you pulled it off and got back at Hutchinson. You've been to different venues that have first-time hosts like Dodge City, and during your tenure, is it feel a little?
It's starting to feel like it's a little bit more normal. We're kind of revving back up, and there's a ramping up process, and so we're trying to get it to be back to the way we always want it. But the kids are starting to come back around. They want to be a part of it. They want to get involved in it. So those kind of numbers are certainly increasing. And then I think we're going to see tonight in the stands whether we're back to normal or not. Obviously, the weather's going to be a little bit of a factor on that, but I think people want to get out and do stuff, and I think they want to come out and see high-level kids doing things for a great cause, and hopefully we can fill this place up.
It's a great tradition, certainly the Shrine Bowl, and BJ, thank you so much. BJ Harris, the Executive Director of the Kansas East-West Shrine Bowl, and we will have more on the pregame show right after this.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. We also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
Our first picnic. Our first dance. Our big trip. Our first home, and all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
It's all you. No, I insist.
It's your turn.
Nope, I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you.
Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Watch me. Here I stand on my own 2 feet. Jump shot intact. Here to compete. Skilled hands were there to mend the bone. From loving halls that brought me home. My world stopped with a drive through the lane. Now give me the ball. You'll remember my name. Watch me. Orthopedic excellence at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
And tonight in Pittsburgh, the best of the best, your hometown heroes are meeting head-to-head in a friendly battle that benefits the Shriners Hospitals for Children, which is a system of 22 hospitals dedicated to improving the lives of children by providing pediatric specialty care, innovative research, outstanding teaching programs for medical professionals. So first things first, the game's purpose is to raise money for the Shriners Hospital. The game also promotes high school sports in the state of Kansas, as the game features recently graduated top athletes, current coaches, many of the state playoff teams. To that end, there is a special group, in fact, an octet of them who hail from a special area, and they are the Beasts of the Southeast, sponsored by Crawcan. And these 8 include some really special guys. In fact, they're really just a short distance away. In fact, I don't think there's more than a 20-minute drive for anyone. It's Cruz Blair from Frontenac, Colton Lacrone, he's from Chanute. We've got Davis Merrick, he hails from Independence. Andrew O'Doherty, he hails from Pittsburgh. Brett Sarwinski, he wears number 31 on your jersey, he's from Galena. Cody Schalk is from Columbus. Brecken Trokey, he is out of Girard. And Isaiah Tyson out of Parsons. They'll have plenty of fans cheering for them today, Stan.
Yes, they love their football down in this part of the state. Congratulations to these young men. Well earned. You get a chance to be an all-star.
All right, they're the Beasts of the Southeast, brought to you by Crawcan. And it would not surprise me if all 8 had just a tremendous game, their last opportunity for many of them to play in front of the home folks. The proceeds from the game have generated well over $50,000 per year for the Shriners Hospitals. That's well over $3 million in the game's 48-year history. The colors tonight are being presented tonight by the members of the Median Shrine Arab Patrol. So the crowd has gone silent, knowing that the special feature of the Kansas Shrine Bowl is the Kansas Masonic Band, who is about to play our national anthem. The band, by the way, who's already had a full week. They performed last night at the banquet. They were in the parade today. They'll be performing again at halftime. The band is under the direction of Andrew Chybowski, who is the professor of music at Pittsburgh State University. He's been assisted by numerous instructors and volunteers. The band is sponsored by the Masonic Lodges and other Masonic organizations and the Kansas Masonic Foundation. In fact, the band that you're looking at is the 39th Kansas Masonic All-State Marching Band. What you're hearing at the moment is a prayer on the field being said. And let's listen in not only to this, but to our national anthem. All right, so applause from the audience. Again, the Kansas Shrine Bowl Masonic All-Star Band will play our national anthem.
establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the perfection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And here we go, folks. Greetings to each and every one of you. Alongside Leon Lebo in the field, Stan Weber in the booth, I'm Mark Ewing, and we're glad to have you with us. Here we go, and the fact from the eastern to the western edge of our great state, from Cimarron to Colby to Osage City to Osawatomie and places in between, the hometown high schools of our Kansas Shrine Bowl All-Stars are set to go. Representing the flavor of the Kansas gridiron landscape, from 6A to 8-man, from the metropolitan to the single stoplight towns we've all traveled through, the next class of Shrine Bowl All-Stars has taken the field. Each and every one of them is an all-star selection in every sense of the word, because as talented as they are as athletes, they've been selected to play in this game because they are all-star student athletes and exemplary representatives of their respective communities. All of them selected to take part in one of the most honorable and exciting events of the sports landscape of the Sunflower State has to offer. We are all set to embrace the 49th Kansas Shrine Bowl. And I get excited for this, Stan. It's always a great game. I'm so amazed at how well they play, and we are certainly ready for this one.
It's amazing how quickly the kids come together as a team, and these two groups, both coaching staffs have said they really have been respectful, are learning a lot about football, and they started the week with 3-a-days, old school. They've been here only a week, so they had to learn fast, and they've really taken to it. We expect some quality football tonight.
It is Kansas Shrine Bowl Day in the state of Kansas, made official by a proclamation from the governor. The honorary captain for the coin toss is Mallory Bogle. She's from Galena, enrolled at Pitt State. She was diagnosed with scoliosis in the 8th grade. She shared her experience of healing with the teams during the hospital experience this week. The West captains are Matthew Holthosen of Bishop Carroll, Jeremiah Moore of Wichita Northwest, Terrell Elliott of Goddard Eisenhower, Andon Carpenter of Derby, and the East captains, Kenrick Osei Bonsu of Olathe North, Tanskowski of Olpe, a linebacker Caden Fields, Osawatomie, Blake Reeder, quarterback Shawnee Mission Northwest. That's a good group of 8 and really representative of all. You got to pick captains. Those guys were really great because of the different sizes they are and what they expect to have.
Yes, you look at number 87 in the middle of the screen there. He's the captain, and you said quarterback. That's right. He's wearing number 87 right there. The two quarterbacks shake hands. Reeder wears number 87 because he's been a tight end his whole career until his senior year at Shawnee Mission Northwest. He's going to play tight end in college at Butler. So when he said what number, he said 87, and then he ends up being a quarterback. Here's our West coaching staff. We want to point out that Steve Warner from Buhler is going to be the offensive coordinator tonight and a defensive coordinator in his first year being a Shrine coach, but played in the 1999 Shrine Bowl, Tony Crow from Hayes.
Troy Black's the head coach, Wichita Collegiate, graduated Fredonia High School. Meanwhile, here's a look at the East staff.
And the East staff offensive coordinator will be Clint Ryder from Blue Valley Northwest High School, and the defensive coordinator tonight, Derek Hummus from Rossville.
Rod Stahlbaumer's the head coach, Basehor Lindward. He's a Byrne High School graduate who graduated also from K-State. Also, Fort Hays State, his coaching resume includes stops at Quivira Heights and also for Linden. Well, the West team is going to kick off, and the kicker, a story in himself, Dodge City's own, Emmanuel Aguilar. And he will kick off to the East team. The West actually won the toss, deferred their choice the second half. That means the East team is going to receive, and back for the East team, a returner Will Gavin as well as Devontae Herrick Britton. They're back for the East team. And if it goes like the West should, he should boot it right into the end zone.
He's got a strong wind behind him. And Emmanuel Aguilar was really the leader of the West camp. He's the guy that everybody gravitated toward. It doesn't happen very often. It's a kicker. Shows you what great personality he has.
And with that, the Kansas Shrine Bowl is underway for the 49th time. This kick to the end zone. That means the East team will take over, first down and 10. And the East quarterback is Blake Reeder. As Stan mentioned, wearing number 87. He's 6'4", 225. He's out of Shawnee Mission Northwest. In addition to playing quarterback, Reeder is also a capable linebacker as well as a punter. Stan talked about his time as a tight end. Talented athlete. He's also a football, baseball standout. Was a starter quarterback at one point in his freshman year at a 6A school, which just shows you what kind of athlete he wants to be. And what he wants to be someday is a head coach. He gets his opportunity here. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. East goes to work. West defense settled in as we get ready for the first snap of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. And it's a running play up for a burst of about 5-6 yards. And if you're going to start, that's a good way to start for the East squad.
Giovanni Blackie gets over the left side. You see how big, thick number 21 is. He's going to go to Mid-America Nazarene. His favorite player of all time is Bo Jackson. He's hardly old enough to know Bo, but here you see a run, breaks a tackle there, and gets a nice first down, 6-yard, maybe even a 7-yard run.
Temperature game time, 98 degrees. We are under a weather advisory, a heat advisory. The National Weather Service. Winds south 15 miles per hour. In the first play, a catch, and it's going to be a first down. So the East team comes out, 2 plays, has a first down, nice catch, and it was ruled down because number 24, who is Zach Atkins, put his knee down.
Zach Atkins is about 6'5". Kendrick Jones, number 15, is also about that size. That is a large height advantage out on the outside for the East wide receivers.
So the first pass completion, here's the quarterback's going to keep it, rolls forward. He's tall, and he reaches out and makes a pretty nice gain of about 3 yards. That's 6'4", getting about 3 yards on the play.
Well, they're going to try to spread things out, run the shotgun like so many teams do. We saw how thick Blackie is as a running back. You got a big quarterback. They really think they're going to be dangerous throwing the football. So if they can balance with the running game, it will really make the East happy. Remember, the East last year, surprisingly, did not score. They lost the game to West 14-0.
That time, 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. Pass is caught. Caught to the near side. Garrett Fager in Osage City makes the catch at the 44-yard line. And now another first down, the second first down for the East team on this first drive of the ball game.
Great throw on a curl route against the wind. Blake Reeder very comfortable throwing the football. And Garrett Fager is one of the players, and there are a number of them tonight that are not going to play football after this game. And I always like to point them out. Garrett Fager is going to play baseball next year at Butler County. He gets off to a good start tonight.
This time the inside receiver takes a move and gets a block, sets it for Giovanni Blackie. Blackie close to the first down marker. He's down to the 46-yard line. He's a pickup by 9. And again, at the end of that run, he leaned forward for another 3 yards. Nice run by the running back from Paola.
He's going against a defense that's running a 3-3 stacked defense. They're going to try to blitz and
create havoc. Here you see the down before, a replay of the nice pass that moved the ball further upfield, and with the run, they cross midfield, does the East.
2nd down and 1 in West territory. The 48. Reeder's going to keep it, tucks it, gets to the 45-yard line, puts his head down and goes to the 44. The quarterback, and keep in mind, the East team is limited by one quarterback, right? They've got their backup, Torrey Horak, was hurt this week, so Reeder likely to play the entire game.
Yes, they have different guys who played quarterback in high school, but many of them have been assigned to different jobs. You see a nice pass again, this time to Kendrick Jones, who's going to go to K-State as a walk-on. But Blake Reeder was running the quarterback position, and Torrey Horak was also there. But Horak had a leg injury, and he's not able to play tonight, so we might see a lot of Blake Reeder.
2nd down and 7, 3 for 3 passing as Blake Reeder to start this first drive, which started on the East 20-yard line. They're in West territory down to the 40-yard line. Give is on the ground, and Blackie did a nice job to get to it. And on the handoff, Reeder never secured the handoff to Blackie, and Blackie put it right on the turf.
Well, there's the kind of mistakes that you would expect in a Shrine Bowl game, an All-Star, but this time is really that Blake Reeder never got the snap. He was losing the ball before he ever reached out to hand it off.
East team needs to get down to about the 35-yard line or close to the 34 to have, that's the line to gain. Meanwhile, Reeder looks to the near sideline.
They're signaling in the plays, and everybody is looking over, reading the signals.
Single receiver near side, looking for a receiver. He's got some time, but running out of time. And he's going to have to throw it out of bounds, and nearly intercepted. Creating some havoc on the play. Cody Hawks out of Goddard Eisenhower nearly got to the quarterback. And actually, as it turned out, Reeder was fortunate to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, that could have easily been intercepted. When you're getting grabbed, you've got to be very careful with the football. And when he threw it up, it could have been an interception. Chase Pogue almost pulled it down.
Well, the punt team is in for the East team. Trent Spiker is the punter. Back for the West squad, Chase Pogue and Jeremiah Moore. Moore is the quarterback for the West team. He's back, going to watch it dribble inside the 20. Takes a side bounce. It'll be down to the 17-yard line. West will take the field when we come back. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl from Carney Smith Stadium on the campus of Pittsburg State University.
When sports injuries occur, the experts at Stormont Vail Health provide vital services to ensure a healthy recovery. From screening and evaluations to treatment and rehabilitation, Stormont Vail helps athletes with
getting back on the pitch,
getting back to personal records,
getting back in the set,
getting back on the court,
getting you back on the field.
Stormont Vail, getting you back in the game.
Make the easy drive to Hayes for family-friendly summer fun. You'll find new restaurants to try, new ways to learn, and new places to play, like our Arc Park, an all-accessible playground with splash pad. Hayes is the perfect place to meet up with old friends and make some new ones. Make your summer getaway to Hayes. Plan your trip today at visithays.com.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Hospitals for Children, the most amazing care anywhere.
West team goes to work, first down and 10 of his own 18-yard line. The quarterback is Jeremiah Moore, 5'9", 195, Wichita Northwest. Named the Offensive Player of the Year in the Wichita City League. Moore is a two-time first-team All-City choice in Wichita, and they've got a lot of skill players there. Life goal, to turn pro someday. Incredibly elusive, tough to tackle, and we'll see him go to work here behind a team that is built to run the ball. In fact, first pitch, Elliott, 21-yard line, and a pickup of about 4 yards. Steve Warner is the offensive coordinator of the West team, and you know just the way they came to the line of scrimmage, they want to run the football if they can.
Yes, Steve Warner is the offensive coordinator. They're going to old school it. They're going to huddle up. They're going to get in a lot of powerful sets, and they're going to try to run the football. And if they play action, they hope to catch the East coming forward so much that they can throw over the top. But Jeremiah Moore is an elusive quarterback, hard to pull down, but the West hopes to play a physical style with running the football being the key.
Moore behind the quarterback, now gets a block from Elliott, moves forward 23-yard line, close to the 25, met up there by a host of red shirts. Didn't get down to the line to gain. In fact, in on the tackle for the East squad is Will Gavin. He's out of St. Thomas Aquinas. He and a number of his teammates there to stop Jeremiah Moore.
Well, this will test what the West is trying to do. You've got a 3rd and 3. Are you going to stick with the running game here and feel very comfortable to get about 3 yards per play and keep the drive alive? Or are you going to look to the passing game?
Well, we got a 4-receiver set, 3 receivers to the near side. Jeremiah Moore sets the offense, has a back to his right shoulder. Looks like he's going to pass. But Moore, he can run if he wants to. Looking for a receiver. And brought down by the East team's Kaysen Stahlbomber. 6'3", 205-pounder. He's headed to Emporia State. And nice play. By the way, Stahlbomber not related to head coach Rod, but I'm sure Rod Stahlbomber pleased about the tackle by Kaysen Stahlbomber.
Well, what a great one-on-one tackle out on the outside after the quarterback. Moore started scrambling. I could hear it in your voice. You thought, okay, here's another run for him. He's so dangerous, elusive, and might get away, but no, taken down. 3 plays and out. Good defense by the East, led by Kaysen Stahlbomber's 3rd down tackle.
So 3 and out for the West squad. Aguiar stands back at his own 6-yard line. Good snap. And the Dodge City punter, high arching punt. Fair catch called for, and the East squad will take it at the 43-yard line. So nice defensive stop by the East squad, who comes out and does what they need to do. And now a second opportunity. And as we've seen the Shrine Bowl over the years, it always seems like the first opportunity is always the kind of the nervous time. But the East made 3 first downs. West goes 3 and out. East gets another opportunity here.
Yes, you do see a little bit of nervousness. They stood around a long time through the ceremonies that were beautiful before the game, and then you're a little nervous getting started. So we'll see if they settle down. Remember, the rules used to be in the old days you had to play a base defense. You couldn't blitz, you couldn't slant. Not now. Defenses can do whatever they want, and that usually gives them a slight advantage.
Zach Knowlton was in motion. The give is to the running back. Running back gets a couple yards moving forward to the 45-yard line. On the carry, Zach Sizemore out of Base Hor Linwood. That means that he played for Coach Rod Stahlbomber. And as we've seen over the years as well, when a coach has a player that they're familiar with from their own team, they give them as many opportunities as they can. East team quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8, pass is incomplete. That was intended for Garrett Fager. And that time, that's a timing play. Just didn't quite get the timing that they needed.
Well, I spoke about the defenses having advantages with the rules now and the Shrine Bowl saying you can do whatever you want. It's a lot easier for the defense to attack and cause some havoc than it is the offense to learn every little intricacy and timing. And there's an example on a quick out. They weren't on the same page, and suddenly the East is set with a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8 for the East team. Reader started out 3 for 3 and looking for a receiver, and this is going to be picked off. Intercepted by Keegan McConnell out of Junction City. McConnell's going to take it back to the 10-yard line. 6'2", 205. He steps in front of the intended receiver. And on the East team's 2nd possession of the football game, an interception. The West has a good opportunity here.
On 3rd and long, he has to look upfield, and he tries to throw a deep out route, and cutting underneath it, a great interception and run down the sideline. Almost had a pick 6, but there was hustle. Good tackle by Zach Sizemore. But the first big play, Keegan McConnell, interception, returns it all the way down to the East 12-yard line.
They're marking it down at the 12-yard line, so this will be the 2nd possession for the West squad. Remember, East team defensively just got off the field a few minutes ago after forcing the West into a punt. This time they're right back on the field. See if they can do it again. And certainly with the West team with a kicker like Aguiar, well within field goal position here, if nothing else. But they like to punch it home to the end zone. Moore over center, fullback right behind him. And the give to the back, that's Evan Cantu. Cantu from Maize South, and he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. East squad doing a terrific job up front with that front defensive three. In fact, they're a 5-2 defense is the East squad, and a nice job they did there.
Well, he was off the edge. The defender was right there in the backfield, and there's no way he could bounce the run to the outside, so all I could do was turn up into the East defensive front, and a loss of 1 to 2 yards on that first down play.
Rossville's Derek Hammis is coaching the defense. Odd and even front mixed together and balanced, especially between the front line and the secondary. Here's a give to the fullback. This is Will Doolittle out of Cape Mount Carmel. He gets a couple of yards, but again, the East makes the stop. West having trouble finding the edges so far. The East has been up to the challenge up front.
A rule that he was down. Will Doolittle, East thought that they had a fumble and picked up the football. A little trap play up the middle right there. And you mentioned that Derek Hammis of Rossville is the defensive coordinator for the East. When they put their coaching staff together, all the coaches were really offensive play callers at their high school. So he said, well, someone's got to do the defensive work. And Hammis said, well, I started on the defensive side earlier in my career, so he becomes a defensive coordinator tonight. Now he got a big third down defensive play up.
Ball at the 10-yard line. Moore fakes the handoff, rolls out. Looking for a receiver, is going to keep it. 10-yard line, gets down to the 5-yard line. The line to gain was the 3, so Moore within a couple of yards on what would be a first down, but it's going to bring up a 4th down situation. That time, Moore looked like he was looking for a receiver and actually had a tight end open.
But when you're on the run full speed, you don't necessarily see the guys in those little gaps, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, and it looks easy. But so now here's a big decision for Troy Black, the head coach from Wichita Collegiate. Would he kick a field goal? No, he has his offense out on the field. Now remember, they don't have to get all the way to the goal line. All they need to do is gain about a yard to get a first down on this 4th and 1.
Moore calls the play. And they got a heavy set in there. Big fullback, who's Will Doolittle, right behind Moore. West squad's going to call timeout. Gives me an opportunity here to mention the officials for tonight's ball game. The referee is Scott Wetterstrom. Dwight Wilkes is the umpire. The head linesman is going to be Jeremy Derringer, and actually he's going to be calling the second half due to an injury. Craig Douglas, the line judge. Chad McFarland's the field judge. The side judge is Jaron Griffin, who's doing this for the 19th time. And then Eddie Smith is the back judge. Our media coordinator, Red Hat, is Gary Davis. He's officiating for the 16th consecutive year, so we certainly thank today's officiating crew. We also mentioned that in the second half, with the exception of one of them, they'll be calling a different lineup for officials in the second half.
You see some fans in the stands, a lot of people out at the ball game tonight, and you have extra credit for anybody who's sitting on the east side, because on a hot night like tonight on the west side with the great press box you have here at Pitt State, it's shaded. But on the east side, the sun is in their eyes. The sun is on them. Those are the toughest fans over there.
That's why.
And the band took the tough side. I'm not surprised. The band's always ready.
And always smiling as you see him here. The West squad has had a lot of success in the Shrine Bowl over the years, regardless of being the home or away team. The coaching staff, in fact, on the West squad met in the month of December. They've held a meeting every month. In practice this week, they've handed out nightly 4 hard hats awarded to the hardest workers. Well, after a couple of nights of that, the coaches actually felt guilty because they indicated all 40 team members were actually worthy of wearing one. So team chemistry really important, especially in plays like this one. So timeout called, and we'll see what the West comes out with. As Jeremiah Moore this time looks like the veer offense. Gives to the fullback. Fullback's going to be called short of the first down marker, and the East is going to take over right there in the middle of things. Brooks Lowe, Colton LeCrone.
Well, the key to this play after the ball is spotted is that the running back never fell forward. Did Brecken Troike, one of the defenders there, knocking the running back back. If he would have fell forward, he would have gotten the first down, but instead, East comes up with a big 4th down stop.
Ever since the ads for Crawcan's amazing gigabit internet, school schools of people go bananas every time they see me. There is such a thing as too chummy. Am I right? I mean, should I feel guilty for wanting a normal life? Do I have to move to Finland to escape this cursed fame? Wait, does Finland have Crawcan internet? Don't get bit, get gigabit with Crawcan.
Our first picnic. Our first dance. Our big trip. Our first home. And all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
We've all heard what they say about us. Flyover state, middle of nowhere, a bunch of country folk. Go ahead and fly on over. There's nothing going on. Nowhere to be. And yeah, we've got a lot of hard-working, entrepreneurial, best neighbor you could ask for farm families. We're proud of Kansas, and that's why we built our entire network for it. Nextech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
Watch me. Watch me pirouette with style and grace. An open floor of inspiration. This is my place. 5 positions to start, leotard and tights. A story through movement, under music and lights. Straight and tall, they promised I'd stand. I'm a ballerina who twirls like the blades of a fan. Watch me. Innovative scoliosis treatment at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Both teams have exchanged big off defensive plays. Here's one, Brecken Trokey with a big stop inside.
Sam Elliott trying to get over to the left side. Almost gets to the first down, but with Brecken Trokey there, he squared him up, pushed him back, did not allow him to fall forward. And even though the West started at the East 12-yard line after an interception return, they do not score. They try to get a touchdown, don't kick a field goal, and the East stops them.
First down and 10 this time with the quarterback Reeder now standing a yard in the end zone. He's going to give to his back, trying to find a little bit of room, gets to the 5-yard line and corralled there immediately. Made the tackle was Ben Patterson. Patterson, a Salt Hawk out of Hutchinson High School there to make the play.
Now can the East get the ball off the goal line? One of the strategies you use when you're thinking from the West side and Troy Black is, well, if we don't score a touchdown, if they stop us, let's hold them right here and force them to punt into a strong wind, and we'll get the ball in great field position.
Second down, let's call it 9. Here's Blackie making a move inside. He's stopped there, may have gotten a yard out of it. It's going to create a 3rd and long situation, and again, did not fool the West team up front as they got quickly to the ball. And Patterson once again on the stop.
We've seen that the East squad can do some things in the passing game, but here there's got to be a little question mark in everybody's mind because there was an almost interception on the 3rd down 2 possessions ago. Remember that, Mark? And then on the last 3rd down, there was an interception. And when you got your feet back in the end zone, like the quarterback does, Blake Reeder, and you've just thrown an interception and almost have 2, it gets in your head a little bit. You want to be careful with the football. We'll see how this play unfolds.
Receiver in motion. Blake Reeder back in the end zone getting chased, looking for a receiver, and passes caught at the 22-yard line. Coming back to make the play is Garrett Fager from Osage City. That's at least his 2nd catch in the ball game. 2A All-Staters, a wide receiver, also a returner. He's on the superintendent's honor roll and just made a huge 3rd down catch for the East team.
Well, Reeder did a great job of staying alive, kept his composure, and then coming back to the football. Garrett Fager was 10 yards further upfield when he came back, made himself available, and made a great diving catch.
First down 10, 21-yard line. Here's Blackie. Gets tackled from behind, actually gets 3 yards out of it as the West secures the tackle. Blackie's been used a lot so far, and he looks like a really durable back. Keep in mind it is 98 degrees up here, and you can only imagine how hot it is on the turf. And Blackie looks like he's fresh. Maybe he's a guy that could carry the ball for the East team if he can get some momentum and create some space. Back to pass. Ball is intercepted. Intercepted by the West squads. Number 15, Jace Dirksen. Dirksen's out of Inman. And check that. Ashton Villagomez with the interception. Gomez is out of Wichita Collegiate. He'll play at Kansas Wesleyan next year. He makes his 2nd interception for the West squad in the ball game.
That ball was just thrown behind the receiver. Good catch by Villa Gomez. And then he is able to bring the ball down again. So the West squad went for fourth down, didn't make it, knew they had the East backed up, and sure enough, get the football back in great field position. A little pushing and shoving at the end of that play. We'll see who the penalties are called upon, but 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions for the West squad to start the game.
At least for the moment, the ball marked at the 21-yard line. The officials are discussing what they saw, as Stan mentioned. Some extracurriculars after the play, and the white hat, Scott Wetterstrom.
We have fouls by both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 66. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 57. Both those fouls were dead ball fouls. They are all set. Left.
All right, so first down and 10. Ball will settle in at the 21-yard line. West is out anxious to get to work. This is the second consecutive time due to interception that the West team is going to be in terrific shape, and check that. Ball is going to be marked at the 13-yard line.
Both penalties were post-play fouls, so the interception stands. And on the previous interception return, the West started at the 12. This time, they get another chance at the 13-yard line. And boy, the East defense has been put into tough situations to start the game. You know, Villa Gomez on that interception and return is a unique player, because these players, you ask them, like, what players do you like, or your favorite player of all time? And most of them name football players. But he goes for Salvador Perez, a guy that a lot of people like. It's unusual to have him pick out a baseball player, and he does. Royals starting after the All-Star game now, getting back to work, but Salvador Perez is not available. And a lot of discussion going on here as the West trying to line up in good field position. And they do have a new quarterback into the game.
In fact, it's Lance Hofsommer out of Sedgwick, 6'3", 186-pounder. In addition to all he has accomplished in football over the years, he is a school valedictorian at Sedgwick. He takes a first down and 10. Golden opportunity for the West team, first down and 10 to 13. And here's the handoff to Elliott. He goes inside the 10, close to the 9-yard line. Among those in on the tackle for the East team is Truman Julesgaard out of Lawrence. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds.
Julesgaard, the safety over to the left of your screen, wears number 9. He was a quarterback in high school at Lawrence High, and he's been playing safety all week long, getting ready for the game. But with the injury right at the end of the week for Torrey Horak, if they have a backup quarterback into the game, it will be Truman Julesgaard.
Line to gain is the 4. Back to pass. And he's got an arm looking in the corner of the end zone, incomplete. It was intended down to a receiver that at least had a space for a moment. Pass incomplete. Third down plays coming up.
Chase Polk did not get a chance to catch that ball in the corner of the end zone. He's got to keep it away from the defender. So you've got to put it, if you're going to miss a little bit long and see if a receiver can go up and get it. He does not. So you've got a third down. What will the West think? Troy Black, head coach, Stephen Warner, offensive coordinator. Mark, do they think of this as a 2-down situation? We need to get 6 yards in 2 plays? Or will they settle for a field goal on this possession?
This is the third possession for the West team. Keep in mind the West does not have a first down yet. They're 0 for 2 on third down. They also missed out on a fourth down, turned it over on downs. And here's the Sedgwick quarterback, 10-5, sprint to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown for the West squad. As sprinting to the end zone was Lance Hofsommer, who looked for a receiver, kept the ball, and the West scores the first touchdown of the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl.
Well, he was looking to throw, but he got pressure from behind. The defender could not quite grab him by the ankles, and then he said, I got to get it up there, get that first down. But when he turned the corner, he not only picked up the first down, he found enough room on the sideline to step inside of the right side pylon, and the East is the first team to give up a touchdown as the West takes advantage of the second turnover and scores on a scramble.
Aguiar's the kicker, Villa Gomez the holder, Gavin Bell's the snapper, and the 3 components together work perfectly. Extra point good, and the West leads this game 7-0 in the first quarter with 1:22 to go. This time, the West team in the short back porch ended up finding the end zone. And a 7-0 lead, thanks to Lance Hofsommer, who comes in and leads the short drive.
He did a nice job of realizing he had pressure from behind. You see number 20 right there, Kramer, for the East. He was the defender who came around the corner and forced Lance Hofsommer to leave the pocket, but he did it under control. And because he looked like he was still possibly going to pass, the defense didn't converge on the edge to make a tackle quick enough. And then he got near the 5-yard line, and that's when he was able to get away from one guy, step into the end zone, and the West takes advantage of the turnover, gets a touchdown. And we've talked about the West, how successful they've been. Mark, they've won the last 3 games, 4 of the last 5, 12 of the last 16, and during that streak of 12 wins in 16 games, they won 7 straight from 06 to 12. So they talk about that a lot in the West camp. When you talk to their coaches, they remind each other there's great tradition here. So the East, trying to stop that, needs to find quarterback Reeder's positive play. Blake Reeder started off the game really well. He's played every down for the East. He's got 2 interceptions. So what does that mean? You need to find some running game, right? Give the ball to Giovanni Blackie, Zach Sizemore. Get that offensive line going. The East really needs that because not only have they thrown 2 interceptions, they're down by 7. They're going into a strong win. So they need to get something going here in the running game on this possession.
West squad won a year ago, 14-0 in Hutchinson. The victory was the 4th for the West in the last 5 years, as Stan mentioned. However, Pittsburgh is considered East territory in Southeast Kansas. Strong representation in this game with players from Chanute, Columbus, Galena, Girard, Independence, Paola, Parsons, Frontenac, and hometown Pittsburgh. So the fans here have come to watch their hometown heroes, used to winning a lot of games, and 7-0, just a small deficit for the East boys.
But there's a sneaky little play by the West in this, Mark. Troy Black, the head coach at Wichita Collegiate, and he's been around that program for 23 years, last 4 years head coach. He grew up in Southeast Kansas, in Fredonia. So he has a lot of West fans sneaking into this part of the country, and their team leads 7-0.
Aggie kickoff. West team leads 7-0 in a drive inside East territory from the 13-yard line. There's a kickoff in the 9-yard line. If you field it and you go down, which is exactly what Will Gavin did, that's where the drive will start. So Gavin did his best to try to field that kickoff to give him some running room, and he would have had a little bit of room had he captured that, but the East goes to work here.
It's so hard to get your body to sequence when you see a low line drive kick and you're a kick returner. He was trying to stand up and then grab the ball. But if you grab the ball before you stand up, in college or high school, you're down. You can't get back up. And so it works well for the West. The East starts back at the 9-yard line after the last possession, starting at their own 4.
East is running that 4-receiver spread, single back. Coach Clint Ryder of Blue Valley Northwest is the offensive coordinator, and distribution to the key players is the key for the East team. The handoff gets back to the line of scrimmage, not much more, and not having a gain on first down is really effective. That was the handoff to Zach Sizemore at a base for Linwood.
See Acosta right there, number 24. Armand Acosta is a very fast player. He jumps into the backfield. They're going to blitz a lot out of this 3-3. They're going to stunt, try to get into the backfield. And this young man is not only strong and a good linebacker, he's very fast with 4.5 40 time.
2nd down and 10. Reeder, the quarterback, who's had 2 interceptions so far, looks to his running back just off his right shoulder, and he's going to give to the back. He gets to about the 11-yard line, a 2-yard gain. And that's going to bring up a long 3rd down. So far, East, Sizemore, the second carry there, just trying to get some momentum. Keep in mind, East took the first drive, picked up 3 first downs, actually got into West territory before they punted the football away, made it look easy. And the West has made some adjustments and made it very difficult since then.
It shows you the effect of turnovers, the psychology of a turnover. That first play drive was 10 plays, balancing the offense, running and passing success. But since then, it's been the West defense dominating the game.
3rd down and 8. Last time the East team had a 3rd down and 8, they converted for their 4th first down of the game. Can they do it here? And the quarter comes to an end here. You're watching the Kansas Shrine Bowl, the 49th annual, in fact, from Carney Smith Stadium on the campus of Pittsburgh State University. The West leads the East by a score of 7-0.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. They also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
With Farmers Auto multi-policy discount, the more policies you have with us, the more you could save on your auto insurance.
Hey, hon.
Hi, honey.
Like what?
Well, you'd get a discount for insuring your jet skis and boat, RV, life, home, and more. You could save up to 45%.
That's a whole lot of discounts.
Well, we offer coverage for a whole lot of things, and you could save a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks.
What's up, Dad?
17-car garage you got there?
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Get back in the game with the Kansas Shrine Bowl Alumni Association. We hope the Kansas Shrine Bowl had an impact on your life. Now help us continue to impact the lives of kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children. Get reconnected with the Kansas Shrine Bowl at kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni. This year we'll have special offers and events just for our alumni. Former coaches, players, and staff members, go to kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni and complete the form.
With Leon Liebel on the sideline, Stan Weber in the booth, I'm Mark Ewing. Welcome back. Second quarter begins 7-0. West leads East. West had the football courtesy of a couple of interceptions on the 13-yard line and the 12-yard line in East territory. Managed to score in one of them. And that brings us to the start of the second quarter. Reeder, who's 4 for 8, passing-wise, finds himself with a 3rd down and 8. And talk about key players. Kendrick Jones, who wears number 15 on his jersey, one of those players who can get off the turf and make catches. East team needs a big play here. And here's Reeder. Reeder back to pass, looking for a receiver. And speaking of which, how about the play? Oh, incomplete. That was intended for the very player I just talked about. Kendrick Jones had it for a moment, but on the hard tackle, lost the football, incomplete.
They're going to give him the catch. So the official on the play,
how about that?
Did give him the catch, ball thrown up high. This is what they expected to do, take advantage of the height of the receivers. Many times you'll see that would be called an incompletion, but he held the ball long enough, the officials thought, and it's a 1st down.
Ball on the 32-yard line. That time the pass is incomplete, and then a flag thrown. A flag thrown at the end of that play. The official heard something from a couple of West defenders who were over on the play. That pass was intended for Kendrick Jones. Jones is out of Mill Valley, by the way, soon to be a K-State or a preferred walk-on. And we'd heard about his performance and his ability to make that catch.
15 West. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, which will result in a 1st down.
That's penalty is on Dirksen. And a 15-yard penalty will be a big one. That's a real boost for the East team.
Yeah, every yard getting away from the goal line is going to be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct was on 15, the East team. The first of their game. 15-yard penalty.
Okay, so they're going to call the penalty on Jones.
After he missed the pass, they're going to call the penalty on him, so it's going to be 15 yards and probably after the down. So more than likely it's going to be 2nd and long. After making that nice catch, the East is backed up. Now, the East let the clock run out so that they could move to the south end of the field, get the wind behind their back for the second quarter. And you saw how much of a difference that made with Blake Reeder, the quarterback, putting the ball up high to his receiver, Kendrick Jones. But a penalty here makes it 2nd and long.
Boy, one of the favorite receivers so far, Garrett Fager. He's on the near side as you look at your screens, wearing number 1 at Osage City. He'll be playing at Butler baseball, he will. Here's Reeder. Pass is caught. This by Zach Atkins of Blue Valley Southwest. Nice pickup. And when you get a 15-yard penalty, if you can get about 10 of those back, that's a pretty nice play.
Well, it's the best you can do. A little bootleg pass. Good throw by Reeder to Zach Atkins, but a nice one-on-one tackle. Man-to-man out here. If you don't make this tackle, he's going to turn up and make a lot of yardage. But Braxton Harrison from Cimarron, a 2A player, made the tackle and forces this 3rd and long.
3rd down 14. Atkins this time to the near side. 3 receivers to the near side, single back. And here's Reeder. Reeder has a little bit of time to running out of it and has to find a receiver. That pass is caught by Kendrick Jones. What a catch that he made. It's going to be short of the first down marker, but what a catch. In traffic. Look at this, Stan.
Well, they did gain some yardage, but that penalty cost them. They're going to be forced to punt. Good pressure on the quarterback. Bo Van Bruggen got there and forced the quarterback to dump the ball off, and he got a completion on the sideline to pick up some yardage, but they still are 6 long yards from a first down. It doesn't look like they brought the punt team out. It's 4th and 6.
Yeah, finally East is going to call timeout. 4th down and 6. Reeder looked around at the official.
I wonder if the coaches thought that 15-yard penalty didn't have a down counted against them. Like if it would have been in-action penalty, it would have been 15 yards and it would have been first down all over again. I just wonder if they all realized it is now 4th down, and are they really going to test it here in their own territory? Analytics are a new part of football. Aggressiveness, going for 4th downs are all a part of modern football, but this would be a tester. I think with the wind at their back, finally the East can bring their punt team out and say, let's get some good field position. Hopefully this punt goes a long ways, we get a little momentum, and get back to playing some defense.
In Hutchinson a year ago, the West posted one of the rare shutouts in the series. They blanked the East by a score of 14-0, so the East team is at least on 5 consecutive scoreless quarters at the moment. The big play was from Phillipsburg's Ty Sides, who was the East MVP, total 126 yards. The big play, 6-yard pass from Andrew Corey to Sides. But between the two teams last year, there were 17 punts in the game. There were 8 from the East and 9 from the West as defense dominated the night. And, you know, I'll be the first to tell you, each game has its own personality, and you know, defense is not a bad thing to carry the night. But, boy, East would love to create some offense here. As a big play coming. The punt team is on the field at the moment.
Yeah, you talk about each game has its own personality. It's not always defensive. I can think back not that long ago in 2016, the East beat the West in Emporia 48-27. The Shrine Bowl record for number of points. So you just never know what is going to click. The defenses so far have done a good job tonight. That was the theme last year, but to a level we've rarely seen. You remember that 17
sure.
punts?
I
like some defense, but I forgot 17 punts.
Also, I remember several turned over on downs. They didn't punt. They got deep enough to at least give it a shot here. Here's a return from Moore. Moore from the 10-yard line makes a move to the 15, brought down at the 18-yard line.
That's a quarterback.
And so West will take the ball up 7-0. We're going to take a break here. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl. The West leads the East 7-0 from Carney Smith Stadium on the campus of Pittsburgh State University.
Our first picnic, our first dance, our big trip, our first home, and all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
Make the easy drive to Hayes for family-friendly summer fun. You'll find new restaurants to try, new ways to learn, and new places to play, like our Ark Park, an all-accessible playground with splash pad. Hayes is the perfect place to meet up with old friends and make some new ones. Make your summer getaway to Hayes. Plan your trip today at visithays.com.
7-0 is our score. You take a look at the American flag and the view to the north as the wind from the south here at Carney Smith Stadium. Game time temperatures 98 degrees. The band hasn't even noticed. That's great to be young, isn't it? But yeah.
You talk about that wind, it's a factor, and that was a net 46-yard punt.
Boy.
So rather than going for fourth down, kicking it and driving the West back, that decision was easy, I believe, because of that strong wind behind their back.
So Lance Hofsommer still the quarterback. He's out of Sedgwick. Hofsommer, really interesting story in that he is the 1A player of the year. In fact, he was the Wichita Eagle player of the year, top 33 pick, 4.0 student. He gives to Elliott. Elliott out of Bueller moves forward. Nice carry up to about the 23-24 yard line. By tradition, the West team is huge up front and in Carpenter on the defense. But in the offense, Dalton Owen and Concordia and Braxton Bailey and McPherson, they're both tackles. They both weigh in over 300 pounds. Nice to run behind those guys.
Unbelievable that we say that high school kids weigh over 300 pounds blocking out there. It's just amazing. And the inside of that line has been pretty good too, with Brandon Kerr, Colton Hairsnape, and Bo Kirshen getting most of the work for the West at the guard and center position.
Pick up a 5, second down and 5. This time swarmed down. The East team made some big plays up front to make the stop. Cody Schock out of Columbus. He's 6'5", and speaking of big, 265. He's going to play his college football right here at Pittsburgh State.
Yeah, setting the tone right here, even with a red helmet tonight. He has been a star all camp long, playing that nose guard position. Number 75 has been hard to block all week long in scrimmage, in practice, and he shows it there with a nice tackle for the East.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 6 for the West squad. As Lance Hofsommer sets the offense, spread look, 4 receivers, 2 on either side, and this to the receiver, passes incomplete. Waited for a moment for the receiver to break out on his pattern. Matthew Holthazen out of Bishop Carroll, but the pass is incomplete. 4th down coming up.
So the East punts the football, gets a 3 and out, and now forces the West to punt into the wind. Emmanuel Aguilar, who's a very good kicker, is also going to be the punter tonight.
2 back for the East squad, and there's Aguilar. Aguilar's reputation huge because of a 55-yard field goal that he kicked against Garden City in a game that Dodge City won the Hatchet game in double overtime. The punt, a good one, but into the wind. Fair catch is called for. The East team's going to have terrific field position as they start for the 49-yard line. East defense really setting the tone as they give their offense great position here.
And when they punted before, what they planned on doing is say, let's get a stop, forcing the punt into the wind, even though that was a pretty nice punt, and forced a fair catch. This is the best field position that the East has started with. This is their 5th possession of the game.
We mentioned Rod Stahlbaumer, head coach of Basehor Linwood. Stahlbaumer's 5th appearance in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. He's the East head coach. His 2nd as the head coach. He's a dad to 3 kids. He's got 12-year-old Leah, 11-year-old Landon, 6-year-old Lexi. And keep in mind, when these coaches come to camp, they don't see their family for a week. And probably longer, but then planning stages for this. So a salute to Stahlbaumer and his staff here. As Reeder back to passing for receivers. Got one right in the slot, wide open, the 45-yard line. And the East squad is now into West territory as the catch was made by Zach Atkins.
The East has a very fine passing game. When you come in an all-star situation, oftentimes you work on the passing game during the week, but it doesn't really come to fruition in the game. But one of the advantages here for the East is with Blake Reeder having to stay in at quarterback, he doesn't have to rotate out. He can kind of work through some things like those earlier interceptions, get his confidence back up, and that's what a quarterback's used to. You make a mistake, you stay in the game.
2nd down 3, there was contact up front. Now did the West side jump or did the East side move? It looks like it's going to be on the West.
And in high school football, when the East moves into the neutral zone, which is basically the width of the football, it's a penalty. They don't have to make the offense move. The offense doesn't have to react, and they don't have to touch an offensive player. Unlike college, unlike the pros, you get in the neutral zone, it's all over, defensive penalty.
And get this, this is the East's 6th first down. The West leads 7-0, and it does not have a first down yet here in the 2nd quarter. 8:45 to go before halftime. Reeder 3 yards behind his center, 2 receivers near side. As they look to the near sideline, Stahlbaumer, the offensive coordinator. They give is going to be the back, and he swarmed to the 44-yard line and leading the charge
Big Gavin Bell. What a play.
A kid out of El Dorado. There's several. That Peterson out of Hut, 6'1", 194. He's really had a nice game.
You seen big number 66 just get upfield, penetrate, make a great tackle. It's like he was hunting down that running back. Why did I say that? You know he wants to own his own hunting guide service.
That's a good choice for him, because he's been hunting down quarterbacks and running backs, especially the ground game for the East team. And now a loss of a couple of yards, make it 2nd down, 13. Give to Blackie. Blackie, the 49-yard line, hustling, trying to get to the 39. Pushes forward and will be stopped there. Among those in on the tackle, Matthew Patusak, 6', 190 out of Hillsboro. Played 13 years of football, did Patusak, from kindergarten to his senior year. That's a lot of football. Also in on the play, there's Giovanni Blackie, had a good lick on him. So 3rd down play coming up. East needs a offensive play here. They've been successful on a pair of long 3rd down conversions. Let's see if they can do it here.
And usually it's been with Blake Reeder buying time, getting out of the pocket, and let his receivers work. Basically, the West is playing man-to-man coverage all over the field.
Yeah, look at that 3-man rush from the West squad, and it's snapping a flag, and timeout's going to be called. East calling timeout.
The West will play some cover 3 as well in that 3-3-5 defense. But this is it.
We're going to take a break here. 7-0 is our score. West leads East. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl from Pittsburg State University.
Our first picnic. Our first dance. Our big trip. Our first home. And all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
Make the easy drive to Hayes for family-friendly summer fun. You'll find new restaurants to try, new ways to learn, and new places to play, like our Arc Park, an all-accessible playground with splash pad. Hayes is the perfect place to meet up with old friends and make some new ones. Make your summer getaway to Hayes. Plan your trip today at visithayes.com.
7 minutes, 7 seconds to go before halftime. 7-0 is our score. West leads East. East with a big play here inside West territory. And 3rd down and 10.
And the West has changed up their defense after the timeout. So now they've gone a 4 across look. They've been in man-to-man, playing some thirds, but this time they switch it up after the timeout to try to mess with what the East coaches saw before.
Kendrick Jones near side of your screen, top portion of your screen. Zach Atkins back to pass, looking for a receiver, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for number 1 Garrett Fager, who had a couple of catches trying to catch the West down to that timeout, but the West right there to defend, including Ben Patterson did a nice job to get downfield.
Well, Braxton Harrison got over there, and because they're in that quarters, there wasn't as much room for those seam passes. If you're in the third coverage and you get down the seam, sometimes it's hard for the safety and the quarterback to squeeze that play. But because they were in quarters, that allowed number 10, Braxton Harrison, to get there just in time. It was a good throw by Blake Reeder, but they knock it away, and the East decides to punt. on the 39-yard line going in.
Trent Spiker is going to try to pin the West back here a little bit. And a catch is made and a return is made. 10-yard line up to 15. And the West, Braxton Harrison out of Cimarron. And Harrison did a nice little return here.
He was the player who had the pass breakup on the previous play. He gets a return. Now you look at the strategy here from the E squad, and Rod Stahlbaumer, head coach from Baser Linwood, 2 times he's seen his squad drive the ball into the West territory to the 41-yard line on that 10-play drive to start the game, this time down to the 39-yard line, and both times chose to punt the ball and try to drive the West back.
First down and 10, 18-yard line. Jeremiah Moore is back into quarterback. He's out of Wichita Northwest. Had a couple of opening possessions of the football game before Hofsommer took over quarterback duties. And he's back in the ball game. First down and 10, 18-yard line. And this time the West shows up with a fullback, tailback right behind him. West looks like an offense that wants to run if they can. And indeed it's going to go to Elliott. Elliott makes a move, stopped at the 19-yard line, had a yard and had a little bit of space, but the East is really closing the gaps in a hurry.
Old school football, I formation, but good defensive play. Brecken, Troy Key, we've seen him tonight get there, make hits. Remember, he had that big tackle inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5 on a 4th down play. But he wasn't the only defender there. Did you see the East squad? He had a triangle of guys getting there. Truman Jules guard, the safety, was filling in the hole as well.
2nd down and 8 for the West squad. This time Moore, instead of being over center, backs up, stands on the 10-yard line. Is going to keep it, looking for a way to go, and he's corralled immediately. Among the first on contact, Colton LeCrone out of Chanute, 6'3", 237. He's one of the beasts of the Southeast that we talked about earlier, and he makes a big play.
When you're a quarterback and you see a big dude like that unblocked, it does seem like a beast. It's a zone read type of play, but there were 2 guys unblocked. Not only big number 97, Colton LeCrone, but there was another defender, Zach Kramer. And when you're the quarterback rolling out and you see 2 guys unblocked, not a lot of fun. So it brings up a 3rd down 9. This is what was needed from Rod Stahlbaumer's East squad when he punted that football. He said, hey, let's just get West 3 and out, force them to punt into the wind. Can they get them out? West does not usually want to throw the football. They've only thrown 2 passes tonight.
And the West does not have a first down yet. Here's a flag down. And delay of game is going to be called on the West team. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult. The touchdown run was a 10-yard run from Lance Hofsommer. That's the biggest carry on the ground so far for the West team. And now instead of a 3rd down and 9, a delay of game penalty.
So you got 3rd down and 14. And Derek Thomas, the defensive coordinator, wants to play a lot of man-to-man. Will he play zone in this 3rd and long situation? It sure looks like he is.
3rd down and 14. Here's Moore. Moore back to his own end zone, and he's going to be crowded and brought down inside the 5-yard line. A big sack made by the East team. In on the charge, Daniel Brown out of Bishop Ward in on the play for the East.
No one open. That zone defense worked very well, and then you see him fight off the block of the running back, Sam Elliott, and then Daniel Brown says, I'm going to run you down. Number 97 came to help, but Daniel Brown on his way to Hutchison. JUCO makes the sack, shows the strong arms, and says, hey, how about punting from your own 4-yard line?
Defense continues to carry the day in the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl, and now Aguiar, who's been called on to punt, punts with his heel to the back of the end zone. This one was a shank off the side, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The push inside made Aguiar rush it, and he didn't get all of it, and it's going to be at the 24-yard line in the East with their best field position of the game so far.
There wasn't even the normal 15 yards to snap the ball back to the punter. You talk about all the things that needed to be done. Sure, there were 3-a-day practices to start the week. Sure, there's been film study and walkthroughs. But how can you get your special teams up to par in pressure situations, backed up at the goal line like that? It is so hard, and East takes advantage of that. West punt goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Only a 21-yard net punt.
Zach Sizemore, the running back with Reeder. Give is going to be with Reeder's going to keep it. Sizemore with the block. And the tall, lengthy quarterback out of Shawnee Mission Northwest. Reached forward, gets about a couple of yards on it. And Reeder, who's headed to Shawnee Mission Northwest, he was a nominee for the Simone Award. At 2,601 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, 63% completion rate, and also a pretty good ball carrier. 365 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. Reeder certainly capable as he picks up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Real opportunity for the East team to end the scoring drought in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Reeder takes the snap. This time he's got a block on the right side. Nice job by that East right side of that line as they open some space for Zach Sizemore.
One of the biggest holes we've seen just off the right side. See that nice gap? Unblocked and getting over there. Cody Hawks, number 44, does make the tackle, but it takes him a little while to get there. And so now the East has a 3rd and 5, down by 7. They may count this as 2-down territory. Like, let's get 5 yards. If we don't get on this down, do it another play.
We got a double tight end. Here's Reeder, 20-yard line. Needs to get to the 15, real close to the 1st down marker. The line judge, or at least the official on the near side, looks like he's going to place it at the 16. Definitely 4-down territory unless the East just wants to get on the scoreboard. They should have a 4th down and 1.
Watch Ben Patterson, number 3, get over there and make this tackle. Gets him just before the 1st down marker. Didn't have a great angle, but gets a tackle. So now you have a 4th down play, and there's movement at the line.
Here's Reeder. Reeder's going to get sacked, and the West team is going to force the East team to turn it over. They never had themselves in control at the line of scrimmage, and Terrell Elliott out of Garden City takes advantage to make the play.
It looks like the East offensive line never took off. They were just late getting going and running straight in the backfield. 2 different defenders. Terrell Elliott's the first one there, and a 4th down stop. It was 4th and 1. And old school coaches go, how do you shotgun snap it all the way back on 4th down? But everyone knows that has not been a problem in modern football. But this time, the defense jumped into the backfield so quickly. Not only did they not make the 1st down, they lost 4 yards on a 4th down stop.
So 2 interceptions made by the West defense and an important stop on 4th down and 1. And the West will have a 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 2 minutes and 32 seconds to halftime here. So the West certainly has plenty of time if they want to take it. But up 7-0, a low-scoring battle here in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. More with it. Elliott is the tailback. Fullback is Doolittle. And here's Elliott. Elliott this time weaves forward, gets to the 31-yard line. The West team also has timeouts to burn if they want to. Cantu, the ball carrier, that time makes the play.
They'll definitely be watching the clock here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. The East would love to get a stop and get another opportunity. The West is just trying to establish, can they drive the ball? Even if they run out the clock, they'll feel comfortable leading 7-0, but they just want to be more effective running the football. You've talked about the lack of first downs for the West tonight.
It's Cantu, 2,107. That's a school record as far as yards. Here's Moore. Moore keeps at 37-38-yard line. That should be a first down, and if it is, it's the first rushing first down for the West team in the football game. Comes courtesy the Wichita Northwest quarterback.
And that's what he can give you. He just has an ability to break tackles, not allow people to get angles on him in the backfield. It looked like he was in big trouble. Daniel Brown was face to face with him, but a little juke, and he's able to bust to the outside and pick up a first down. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 1:50 left.
Andrew O'Doherty in on the tackle for the East team. He ran him out of bounds. He's out of Pittsburgh High School, headed to Washburn. First down and 10, 38-yard line in West territory. West up 7-0. This time the give is to Cantu. 40-yard line, 45-yard line. He's going to get out of bounds close to the midfield marker. And nice job of the West team as they're doing some clock control, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Yeah, they're getting in running formations. And one of the things you're going to watch here is they pull the left guard around. Good read this time by Evan Cantu. He's going to walk on at K-State. He bounces the ball to the outside, finds an opening, then steps out of bounds, stops the clock. And watch out, West will show running formations, but on one of these plays, Mark, I wouldn't be surprised if they play action and try to go deep. Every East defender is within 8 yards of the ball.
Moore with 2 backs behind him. Back to roll out, looking for a receiver. Downfield, 20-yard line, and it's going to be incomplete, and a flag comes down.
That's what I was expecting. They play action pass, try to throw the ball deep, and the 2 number 4s get hooked up. Chase Pogue down there trying to make a catch. Devontae Herrick Britton, the defender, did not get his head around, so they bootleg and throw the ball deep. You see when the ball's underthrown so often, the penalty goes against the defense, and I don't think the defender really made that much contact, but the way it's called in football, they always call it against the defender. If you don't get your head around and you bump into the receiver at all, you get a pass interference. In high school football, it's not a spot foul. If that were the NFL, the ball would have been down at the 15-yard line. I like the college rule, like the high school rule a lot more, where they have a maximum penalty, this time 15 yards. But now, look at where the East penalty puts the West. A little bit ago, we were talking about just getting a first down, maybe running out of the clock, and suddenly they now have crossed midfield, can think about scoring.
Ball now 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line for the West squad, who has 97 seconds to try to add on to their 7-0 lead. Moore, shotgun, looks to the near side, taking his time. The flag comes down. Pass is incomplete, nearly caught. Downfield intended for Harrison Voth out of Cheney, but there's also a flag in the west side, the west backfield.
We haven't had a lot of penalties tonight, but we've seen a few more here in the second quarter than we saw in the first quarter. This time we got a holding penalty trying to roll the quarterback out. It'll be called against the West offense.
That's going to move the West squad to near midfield. That West squad, we talked about the 300-pounders. The two guys next to him, the guards, they weigh about 260 apiece. Center's about 235. This is a really good-looking, if not a JUCO offense, certainly a Division II offense with those West guys up front.
How about when you weigh 260 and they call you the small guy?
That's right.
It's like people standing next to you that are 6'4", 6'5", and you're so tall. You know, the 6'5" guy's the little guy.
Just a point guard. Ball at the 49-yard line, back to pass. Moore tucks it, and he's going to be caught from behind and brought down. We'll see if the West wants to call timeout, but guess who's into the play? Daniel Brown, once again from Bishop Ward, in to make the play for the East squad. He's had a nice night so far.
Well, one of the things the quarterback's got to take into account is be careful rolling to your left, because Daniel Brown may get blocked for a second, but he's going to get off the block, and he's going to cause havoc. Plus, when you're the quarterback who's a right-hander, rolling to your left, you can't get rid of the ball as easily. So Daniel Brown making some plays for the East.
Hofsommer in at quarterback for the West team. Back at the 40-yard line, two receivers near side. Going to look for a receiver long, and the pass is going to be incomplete. Nearly intercepted downfield. Devontae Herrick Britton, who was called for the pass interference play just moments ago, in on the pass breakup that time.
He would have caught this, but Truman Jules' guard, the free safety, came over and knocked him off the ball. Watch this. Interception? No. Knocked away by his own guy. They had to both play the ball. There's no bad play there at all, but I think Herrick Britton would have intercepted the football if Jules' guard would not have run into him.
Third down, it's 27 for the first down, or the line to gain, which is at the 28-yard line.
What's your favorite 3rd and 27 call?
Oh, boy.
You know, screen pass is not always a bad one right now.
That's right. I like the screen. We'll see what Hofsommer wants to do. In fact, he's looking right at Cantu. This time, pass is complete. Caught down the 43-yard line. Tackle was made by Kaysen Stahlbomber, and the catch was made by Tyson Struber. Struber's an 8-man player out of Canton Galva, who steps in and makes a nice play.
Struber makes the catch, and he's a scholarship athlete going to K-State. 4.40. All he did when he played 8-man at Canton Galva is play basketball. He ran track. He was in powerlifting. Oh, he did robotics as well. A busy young man and ready to go on to K-State. Makes a catch right there, but right now with 35 seconds left, neither team has much of an advantage. It's 4th and long for the West. It wouldn't be very smart to try to go for 4th down. And if they do get the punt off, the East isn't going to get great field position. So really, if I were the East coach right now, I'd be thinking about, can we block a punt? Let's see if we can put some havoc into the face of that punter.
Mammoth Sports Construction is proud to be the official telecast partner of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Let Mammoth Sports Construction design, budget, fundraise, and build the project of your dreams. Learn more at mammothbuilt.com. We thank you to our Hospital Experience presenting sponsor, which was Watco, a transportation and supply chain services company founded right here in Pittsburgh with locations across the country. Learn more about how they make a difference every day at watco.com. The Venmo Challenge is back, by the way. That's what you're seeing on your screen. Make a donation of $25 or more to our Venmo at Kansas Shrine Bowl. You can see your message and contribution at the bottom of tonight's broadcast. Give a shout out to your favorite Kansas Shrine Bowl participant and do it all for the kids. Fourth down here and 17 with 35 seconds left before halftime. Leon Liebel is going to join us at halftime. We're going to talk about lots of things, including the band, so stand by for that. Here comes the punt. Fair catch called for, and a nice catch made by Zach Milton out of Spring Hill that was stood back there. So I wonder if the East wants to take advantage of the 28 seconds, but Milton didn't have a lot of room from the punt coverage from the West squad. So he did a nice job getting under the football and making the play here. So the East down 7-0 here. The touchdown for the West squad came courtesy an interception was set up by Ashton Villagomez. And then Lance Hofsheimer, the quarterback out of Sedgwick, on a 3rd down and 10 play, scrambled, scored from 10 yards out. Point after was good. It came with 2:10 to go in the first quarter. But so far, the personality of the night, defense from both squads.
The East likes throwing the ball deep. They think they have an option. If you know they're going to pass, they believe Blake Reeder can throw the ball up to one of the guys that are 6'5". So they may just try to move the ball downfield and see what happens.
Here's Reeder. Reeder's going to let it go. Has a receiver. Pass is caught. This catch made by Zach Atkins. Atkins moves it up to the 26-yard line. Chain's going to move, and the East quickly to the line of scrimmage.
The clock stops while they're moving the chains. And they're just going to clock the ball down. They have one timeout left, so lost a couple of seconds. With 19 seconds left, the East says, why not give it a shot? You know, let's see if we can get downfield. They have the wind behind their back. Could you get in field goal range? But they felt very comfortable all week long with their passing game, and they forced the West to drop into a soft 3-man zone.
3 receiver set, tied in. I'm looking for Kendrick Jones, number 15. He would, out of Mill Valley, he'd be a terrific target. Back to pass, got a receiver, and the pass is going to be caught. Caught at the 40-yard line, just out of the outreach of Colby Kleiman out of Manhattan. Had his hands up, nearly got the pick off, but nicely thrown, perfectly thrown, in fact, as the clock continues to move. 11 seconds to go.
Yeah, that ball somehow barely went over the hands of Colby Kleiman, the younger son of Coach Chris Kleiman, the head coach at K-State. And boy, what a pass by Reeder. Dangerous, throwing it right toward a defender, moving to his left, but somehow got it barely over the fingertips of Kleiman, and the ball was accurately thrown to Fager.
Fager with the catch. He's out of Osage City. He wants to play baseball at the Division I level someday. He's playing baseball at Butler, as Stan mentions. So the East team is serious about it. We talk about wanting to win. They could have sat on the clock and maybe regroup things, but they certainly, with the win at their back, think they have an opportunity here.
And I think they can gain a little confidence. They're going to have to throw the ball to be able to score in this game. They have an advantage doing that. They can't just lean on the running game. And they've had some good plays, some really refined passing plays, some of the best Shrine Bowl passing plays we've seen, but there have been 3 really bad ones. One that was almost an interception on 3rd and long, and 2 that were intercepted and returned all the way back to the 13 and the 12-yard line. And that's what set up a West touchdown. The West has had 2 good chances to score. They got stopped on 4th down, scored on the other one. That's where we have 7 points. But just a confidence builder. Even if the East doesn't go score on this possession, they got to go to the locker room and say, hey, we can throw the ball on these guys, and let's get after it. We're down only 1 touchdown. We can go win this game.
So the East breaks the huddle. This time, Kendrick Jones is to the near side of your screen. He is the closest to us. 4 receiver set. Reeder just needs a little bit of time here. Gets back, looking, under pressure. Still under pressure, and then throws it away. Reeder did a nice job of throwing it away there. He was under intense pressure from that West linebacking core and up front, and had no opportunity to get the ball downfield. And the one thing he didn't want to do, Stan, is get a 3rd interception, at least at this point in the ball game.
When he threw the ball, he threw it over there where there was a West defender. He had to find that ability to throw the ball back to the line of scrimmage so it wouldn't be intentional grounding, but he didn't want to get the ball up in the air long enough to get an interception. So good job by Blake Reeder. One of the advantages for Blake is that he's having to quarterback every down, and that gives you more connectivity. One of the things that happened when I played in Shrine Bowl in the 1980s, I got to play the whole game. Nowadays, they rotate quarterbacks like we're seeing the West. So the West will continue to do that. The East looks like they're going to run out the clock on this play, and they got to find some more success in the passing game in the second half.
Giovanni Blackett gets up to midfield, and that is how the half will end. The East had one more opportunity at it, but gets stopped, and we're 7-0 at halftime. We're going to stay with it because coming up at halftime is one of the favorite parts of the Kansas Shrine Bowl, and that would be the Masonic All-State Marching Band as the West heads to the sideline, as does the East. Your thought as they head there, what do you think the East is going to have their theme at the moment?
Well, they're going to say, hey, we just made 2 interceptions. That isn't going to happen in the second half. Blake's going to be fine with the football. We are going to be able to throw the ball, and our defense is starting to find their rhythm. We get a turnover, we can turn this game around immediately. If not, we're going to find a way to win. We're in good shape. That'll be the message from Rod Stahlbomber. From the West side, Coach Troy Black's going to say, hey, we're ahead 7-0, and this game is about physicality. The West wins because they're physical at the offensive line. We got a running offense. Are we going to be able to run the football, run the clock, and be the first team to score in the second half? We do that, we'll find a way to win. So both coaches are going to talk very confidently about where their team stands at halftime.
Sign Brothers is the official sign provider of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Thank you, Sign Brothers, for providing today's uniforms at no cost to the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Learn more about their high-quality work at sign-brothers.com. The Northwest Kansas Shrine Club is the official transportation provider of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Thank you, Northwest Kansas Shriners, for all you do to help the kids. Farmers Insurance, Leah Smith Agency is proud to be the tailgate partner of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Leah and her team are committed to supporting the communities they serve. Thank you, Leah Smith Agency, for your effort this weekend helping making our event a success. Well, halftime we have reached. The Shrine Bowl of Kansas is proud to present today's halftime show as they take the field this year. It's directed by Andrew Chybowski, who is a professor of music at Pittsburgh State University. And as the band takes the field, they also noted that they're taking a moment to recognize the passing of band director Dr. Doug Witten, who was an important part of the planning for this and an important part of the Pittsburgh State and Pittsburgh community. This is the 39th Kansas Masonic All-State Marching Band. With that, the Shrine Bowl of Kansas presents the 39th annual Kansas Masonic All-State High School Marching Band. Let's listen in.
We've all heard what they say about us. Flyover state, middle of nowhere, a bunch of country folk. Go ahead and fly on over. There's nothing going on. Nowhere to be. And yeah, we've got a lot of hard-working, entrepreneurial, best neighbor you could ask for farm families. We're proud of Kansas, and that's why we built our entire network for it. Nex-Tech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
When sports injuries occur, the experts at Stormont Vail Health provide vital services to ensure a healthy recovery. From screening and evaluations to treatment and rehabilitation, Stormont Vail helps athletes with
getting back on the pitch,
Getting back to personal records.
getting back in the set, getting back on the court.
Getting you back on the field.
Stormont Vail, getting you back in the game.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. We also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
Our first picnic, our first dance, our big trip, our first home, and all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
Ever since the ads for Croccan's amazing gigabit internet, schools of people go bananas every time they see me. There is such a thing as too chummy. Am I right? I mean, should I feel guilty for wanting a normal life? Do I have to move to Finland to escape this cursed fame? Wait, does Finland have Croccan internet? Don't get bit. Get gigabit with Croccan.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me in the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Thank you for your commitment to our event and Shriners Children. Please welcome.
Welcome back to the Kansas Shrine Bowl. 7-0 is our score as the West leads the East. We haven't seen a lot of offense so far, but we've seen a heck of a lot of defense. By the way, tribute to the band, which was just tremendous. One item that I didn't mention about the 39th Kansas Masonic All-State High School Marching Band, it came with the first ever Kansas Shrine Bowl color guard, which was complete with marching, spinning flags, and joining the band was the direction of Laura Climafair, who's the 2022 Kansas Shrine Bowl All-Star Cheer Squad. She's out of Hoisington, was asked last year to help out, and she's probably going to be a permanent part of this because she's enjoyed it. In fact, Stan, some of the folks that we run into tonight, it's kind of like a Shrine Bowl reunion. We're trying to test who's done it the longest, and so far you're the winner. But there are, because again, Stan, if this is your 36th.
36th game to broadcast
All right.
the Shrine Bowl.
But obviously playing, it gives you 36. And then obviously I'm at 22. Leon Liebel joins us here at halftime with an interview. Leon, take it away.
Please welcome most worshipful Robert Nelson.
Again, here at halftime in Pittsburgh at Carney Smith Stadium, I'm Leon Liebel with a special guest. You know, we talk about all the great traditions of the Shrine Bowl, and a growing tradition is having Michael Bishop with us every year to talk about Mammoth sports construction and so much more. You, of course, are a representative and spokesperson for that great company and one of our signature sponsors, of course, of the broadcast. Welcome back to Kansas.
Thanks for having me. And before we get started, welcome to the 2022 Kansas Shrine Bowl. It's been great so far, and looking forward to a great second half.
And you're no stranger to Pittsburgh State. Your daughter played volleyball here.
Yes, my daughter played volleyball here for 2 years. I had 2 good years, and then ended up transferring to Kansas University. So.
There's a lot of K-State fans, of course, still follow you. You're becoming a little more prominent on social media, on Twitter. Your highlights are all over the place. Of course, Michael Bishop, the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy back in 1998, one of the great college quarterbacks of all time and one of the great athletes of all time for K-State. What's it like coming back home to Kansas and seeing all the Wildcat fans?
I always have a great time when I come back. I can't speak for every player, but I take time out. I speak to everyone. I shake hands. I take pictures. Anything that the fans want me to do, because I know at the end of the day, the fans are what makes us. The fans support us, and without those fan support, we wouldn't be who we are.
In the past couple of years, we've talked about your highlights showing up on Twitter now and social media so much, and how it really your style translates to today's game, maybe even better than it did back then. Also, another change in the landscape of college football. How much money would you be making today?
Oh man, I laugh and joke with some of my friends, and I tell them all the time that right now, if I was
there's some friends calling right now.
If I was receiving one of those deals, I probably could get $20 million. So, but I understand the nature of it. I tell all the kids that I run across, our student athletes, that if you have opportunity to get a deal, then go get the deal, because you put in work for it. But at the same time, there's a lot of kids that's not getting recognized for it. So it's a pick and choose of who gets the bigger deals now.
Do you think it's good for college football?
Honestly, I think it hurts college football, because now you have guys that are not really committed. They're jumping around to a bigger bag, as you can call it. They want the bigger bag.
Also, part of the college football, what's changed now, too, is the transfer rules. And I kind of asked you this before we even went on the air. You had a great junior year at K-State. Your favorite school was the University of Texas.
Yes.
They could have came, in this day and age, they could come calling and entice you away as a transfer.
As of right now,
would you have done that?
I would not have. I would have stayed there. For me, I think once you commit, and you stay there and you see it through. Even with all the great things that different universities have now, for me, I'm always a K-Stater, and I would never turn my back. I would stay with K-State and fight it to the end.
I know I've asked you this before, going back to that magical 1998 season. Didn't end the way we wanted it to for K-State fans. You were the runner-up for the Heisman. You still think...
No doubt, Ricky stole it. Ricky stole the Heisman from me. But I respect Ricky. He had a great season, a great career. But at the same time, I think the trophy should be sitting in my home.
It wasn't long ago I saw something about Ricky Williams winning that Heisman on Twitter. K-State fans just flooded that line. And Michael Bishop should have won. Yes. Michael Bishop should have won.
Well, that's support from K-State. Everybody that's part of K-State Nation know the truth, so I appreciate the support.
All right. Hey, one other thing. I know we hope the third time is a charm. Once again, you're nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame. You get any indication how that might go, or?
My spirit tells me that this is my year, and I'm going to trust my spirit, and I hope that the people that control that voting, I hope that they make the right choice, and I can celebrate with all the great fans across the nation that support Kansas State, because if I get in this year, I'm getting in for everybody.
All right. Michael Bishop, again, one of the most exciting college football players in history, certainly in the history of K-State University and perhaps the history of all college football. And Michael, thank you so much for being with us. You need to take that phone call.
I'm going to throw it off the roof.
We'll have much more of the halftime show from Pittsburgh and the Kansas Shrine Bowl. We're going to send it right back to Mark Ewing. Mark?
Put it on my brain.
Hall of Famer back. He played in the 1980 game. There's a list of players who've played in this game, and I took a look to see who most recent really made an impact. Caleb Grill from Mays, Iowa State basketball player, UNLV basketball player, MVP. Cooper Beebe, who's going to be, is he a senior, I think, at K-State this year?
Starting offensive lineman. He can play guard or tackle. Josh Rivas, K-State offensive lineman as well. Trey Deshawn, great defensive lineman for K-State. Dalton Schoen is trying to make it on an NFL roster, star receiver for K-State. So those are some of the guys. But Michael Bishop probably has his friends seeing him on television and say, hey, I see you on TV. I'm going to call you right now.
That's how that works. I remember Trent Tanking out of Holton in 2013. He jumped out because Kansas Shrine Bowl is an opportunity to really showcase your skills across the state of Kansas, and that certainly was impactful. On the field at the moment, what they're doing is they're handing out checks, and this is a fundraising effort. We talk about the efforts that go into the game. It takes a year, the entire year, to get it prepared. And so that is really important. Hey, Leon Liebel standing by at another interview. Leon, go ahead and take it away.
Halftime guest, we just heard from Michael Bishop, of course, who's a representative and spokesperson for Mammoth Sports Construction. And now we have Steve Noble, who is from Mammoth Sports Construction. And Steve, thank you so much. One of the signature sponsors, the sponsor, certainly for our broadcast. And why get involved with the Shrine Bowl every year?
You know, our founder, Jake Ferrant, just believes in what this bowl game stands for. The purpose is much more than just a football game. And Mammoth prides itself on making sure they give back to causes that matter, and this is certainly a cause that matters to them.
And you got a young guest behind you there, a young intern who's Sam Thomas from K-State.
Yeah, Sam Thomas.
Thank you for coming out tonight and watching. We just want to thank all the players, coaches, administrators for making this happen, and we look forward to seeing you in Hayes next year for the 2023 Shrine Bowl.
Hey, Sam, I want to ask you real quick. You're a young K-State guy.
Yep.
You remember Michael Bishop at all? Or
I wasn't around yet, but I sure have seen all the videos.
You've heard about him, all right.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Steve, I want to talk about your company a little bit. You literally have Kansas covered now.
Yes.
And it's amazing how fast you guys have grown over the last just few years.
Yeah, just a few years ago, they were a small company. The headquarters is at Meriden, Kansas. But they have grown rapidly now, and so we have sites working right now in the Dakotas and Texas and just throughout the Midwestern part of the United States right now, border to border. So it's really exciting to see the growth that's happening.
And again, for those who don't know, Mammoth Sports Construction certainly provides all the field turfs, fields around the state, including right here, I understand?
Right here in the pit. My pride and joy. I played here in the late 80s for some awful good football teams, but we had the Bermuda grass back then. It looks a whole lot better right now. So.
You know, it used to be unique if you went to a high school or a college stadium and there was turf. Now it's unique if you happen to see natural grass.
It really is. It really is. It's changed. Much like asphalt tracks changed to rubberized tracks, we're seeing the turf change happen as well with our playing surfaces for our athletes.
How many high schools do you think you have now?
Oh gosh, dozens and dozens in Kansas, certainly. And we're doing fields in the smallest of schools. We've got some 8-man fields we're looking at right now, all the way up to the 6A schools that are doing them. So it's an affordable option. You know, when I tell folks, it's a consistent surface every day. And boy, we've had some heat in Kansas lately, and I know how hard it is to keep fields green and playable. It's a consistent surface, and it's a safe surface for our athletes.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Sam, best of luck in the future. All right.
Thank you.
Again, halftime of the Kansas Shrine Bowl here at Pittsburgh State. I think we're sending it back to Mark and Stan.
I still see Leon, but here we are. There's a shot of the fans and great attendance taking advantage of things. One of the things we've talked about, back in the broadcast booth is the coaches who've been a part of this game over the years. And boy, you mentioned C.J. Hamilton. Did you not play for? Was it Roger Barta was your coach in 19? Does that ring a bell?
No, I know Roger Barta, but he was not the coach. One of the great coaches, Dennis Cavalier.
Oh, okay. It was.
He was Wichita Southeast. They were a dominant team back then, and
Cavalier. Okay.
Cavalier was the head coach at Southeast for 78 and 79, but in 77, little unknown fact, he was my high school coach at Goddard. So when I went to the Shrine Bowl, I knew exactly every play.
Okay.
So it was a little an advantage to have the head coach and the quarterback on the same page. But not only did Roger Barta coach, but his son Brooks Barta, still the coach at Holton, has been a Shrine Bowl coach many times. And it's just great. All the time that these coaches give is really amazing. That these staffs come together and work for the kids, give up family time, and really try to teach them some football and go out and win games. So congratulations to all the coaches that coached this year and all the years in the past.
And that's mentioned just a couple of other coaches, Rick Wheeler, Larry Garman, Randall Zimmerman, and this isn't an updated list, just coached it for the 6th time, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually the 7th time, Randall Zimmerman out of Junction City. So a tribute to all the coaches. Let's take a break here, 7-0. The West leads the East. Third quarter about to begin. You're watching the 49th Annual Kansas Shrine Bowl from Carney Smith Stadium on the campus of Pittsburg State University.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. They also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
Our first picnic, our first dance, our big trip, our first home, and all the belly laughs in between. These are the moments I'll always remember. I don't drink and drive. I have more memories to make.
Remember what matters most. Don't drink and drive. Do it for them. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your law enforcement community.
Ever since the ads for Crawcan's amazing gigabit internet, schools of people go bananas every time they see me. There is such a thing as too chummy, am I right? I mean, should I feel guilty for wanting a normal life? Do I have to move to Finland to escape this cursed fame? Wait, does Finland have Crawcan internet? Don't get bit, get gigabit with Crawcan.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
7-0 is our score. Halftime activities continue here, but we're getting very, very close to starting the second half. Let's talk about what happened in the first half. The only touchdown coming via a 10-yard run from Lance Hofsommer. What was the West's 3rd possession of the football game. About that touchdown, it was the 2nd time that the West team had the ball inside the 15-yard line. It had happened following the 2nd interception of the game. Ashton Villagomez from the West team made an interception, following up Keegan McConnell. So not a lot of scoring. There's your first interception. That was from Keegan McConnell out of Junction City. But it was the second one, Ashton Villagomez, who really set up the touchdown run from Lance Hofsommer. And then after that, it was pretty much 3 and out and punt the football. Great defensive play so far. And that's been really the story, Stan.
Those 2 turnovers make such a big difference because you think about the West's offense, or lack thereof. 4 first downs in the whole half. 1 completion by the West squad. Only 22 plays run, only 50 yards gained. 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversion. How could they possibly be ahead? Well, you mentioned 2 interception returns, 1 back to the 13, 1 back to the 12. West actually could have a 10-0 lead right now if they would have kicked the field goal. But the East squad has run 36 plays. They have 141 yards, and they found balance in their offense. They have 18 runs and 18 passes. They've only used one quarterback, Blake Reeder. He is 10 of 17 in the first half. So they've been able to find the passing game, but those 2 interceptions have trumped out the positive things that they have done, and that has allowed the West to lead in this game. The longest play the West has had tonight is only 11 yards, 4 first downs. So, again, going into halftime, both teams have to have a lot of confidence. East is saying, hey, we're moving the ball. We have the ability to be explosive. We can pass. We can run. We've made mistakes. We're not going to make those mistakes in the second half. Let's do it again, and we'll win this ball game. And the West on the other side said, hey, guys, we haven't done much. We lead 7-0. Our defense is doing a good job, and our offense is going to start using the clock, start running the football. And that's been a little bit of a tradition for the West winning formula. And that's what head coach Troy Black hopes. He really wants to tap in to that tradition of the West, saying, we love being physical. We love running the football. If we get the lead and we can run the ball and use some time in the second half, we'll win this game. How's it going to come out? I don't know right now, but if the East doesn't make mistakes, they've got every opportunity, Mark, to come back and get in this game and even win it.
If you wish to donate online, there's a great way to do it. PayPal.me, Kansas Shrine Bowl. Take your camera out, and there's a Q code on it. It'll show you how to do it. You get an opportunity not only to donate, but put in a message on the crawl below the game. It'll tell you how much you donated and certainly give you a message. It's a really great way to, it's part of how the game has evolved a little bit, and a way to raise money for the Kansas Shrine Bowl. Every year we say, hey, this is the year we're going to set a record for how much money is gained. And Executive Director B.J. Harris has put on a couple of great wrinkles on the methodology by which to do that. Meanwhile, on the field, East is on the field. The West, as you saw, just joined them. Long halftime, way longer than high school, Stan. What do you do to keep yourself sharp as they go to the third quarter here?
Well, the first thing they do is say, hey, just totally settle down. We're not going to talk to you about the game. Get a lot of water and hydrate because of the heat out here. Guys, you're a little more worn down than you think you are. Drink a lot of water, go to the bathroom, relax. They don't even want to talk about football for a little bit. And then the coaches can get together. They can have discussions, in-depth discussions, and then go back to the group individually. So receivers, defensive backs, everyone gets in their little group, and the coaches have plenty of time to go over anything they want to talk about. And then when you get down to that last 8 or 9 minutes of half and it feels like a normal halftime, the head coach walks up and acts like it's a high school halftime. Said, bring it in, boys. Here's what we're going to talk about. Let's head out there and play. But they want to get out on the field a little early and obviously run. With the heat out here, you should be able to stretch your muscles out pretty fast, but it has been a long halftime, so getting warmed up early right now is very, very important. And somehow you got to turn your mind off and then at some point click it back into what you're used to, and we'll see how they react. Even the NFL players have to deal with it. They play all season long with only a 12-minute halftime. When the gun goes off in the NFL, 12 minutes later, they're playing ball. It's hard to even get back to the locker room and come back out on the field, but then you get to the Super Bowl, and it takes 30 minutes, and they've got to revise what they do. The Shrine Bowl needs to do that as well, but it's one of the things that this has been a unique schedule all week long.
Sure.
You rarely see two-a-days in practice.
No.
You know, football's starting for almost everybody. Chiefs are reporting to camp right now. The college kids are going to be reporting very soon. They don't even have two-a-days anymore, Mark. Rarely they do a walkthrough and a practice. These guys did three-a-days. Like it was 1960 or something. They did three-a-days when they got to camp for the first days. They walked in on Sunday at noon and said hi, introduced themselves to each other, and they practiced twice that day. So they've had that schedule. Then they've had to travel to Pittsburgh, all these activities, sit around. So they've had every little adjustment you can imagine. That's why these kids are all-stars. What they do is have an ability when the game starts to click it on, no excuses.
The Kansas Shrine Bowl has been played throughout Kansas each summer since 1974. Host cities have included Lawrence, Manhattan, Wichita, Topeka, Hayes, Emporia, and Dodge City. The event was staged for the first time in Hutchinson a year ago. Pittsburgh last hosted the game in 2018, which was the last time the East won, 21-14 on that night at Carney Smith Stadium.
This Pittsburgh appearance is the 6th one, tying the 4th most appearances of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. 49 years, 9 times at K-State, 9 times at Wichita, 7 times at Lawrence, and 6 now with Pittsburgh and Topeka tied.
Ryan Feldkamp from Jeff County North kicks off. Return comes from the West squad, and West by virtue of winning the toss, deferred to the second half, and they take over 1st and 10. The return came from Colby Kleiman out of Manhattan. So the coach's kid with a nice return, nice hands team. He's on the field and he playing at Washburn a year ago. And he's one of the short men up front. Fielded, what I do not know. Yeah.
He knows a little bit about football. He's going to go to Kansas Wesleyan and continue to play. His dad played in the Shrine Bowl. It was just the Iowa Shrine Bowl. And I believe Colby's older brother, who's on the K-State coaching staff as well, I think he also played in the Iowa Shrine Bowl.
Give us to the tailback. Tailback moves forward. 1st down and 10. East squad, boy, makes a big play. Cody Schock was there, as was Ted Skalski. So the East defense starts the second half exactly like they had the first half. Boy, look at Cody Schock getting through. 265 out of Columbus. Gets up, he thumps his chest and says, I'll just continue what I've been starting.
He is so big, and what a factor he is. If you walk up to the line of scrimmage and you're a quarterback and you see that guy double wide with the kind of ability he has, it just disrupts everything on offense.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 30. Got back to the line of scrimmage. By the way, Lance Hofsommer is the quarterback. To give us to the fullback, this is Doolittle. Will Doolittle's out of Cape Mount Carmel, had 444 yards of rushing on 75 carries and 7 touchdowns during Cape Mount Carmel. And his assignment, as you can expect, blocking up front for the tailback, this time trying to sneak him inside.
And there to make the tackle, Ted Skalski. And Ted Skalski was part of a YouTube TikTok video that was put out, and they called it a TED Talk. And that was something the players were so proud of. They set out a TikTok, and the East did it first. Then the West responded, and the East came back, and they did a TED Talk.
3rd down and 11. Hofsommer looking for a receiver. The receiver fell down. Looked like the intended receiver was Harrison Voth. Voth was out of Cheney, 6'1", 180. And that pass downfield had a real good chance of being intercepted way over the head of the intended receiver. But look at the receiver fall down.
You know, they had a little out and up, and he got grabbed.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
and that's
that
what
sure
the West
did.
is saying. Hey, hey. Voth got grabbed on the shoulder on an out and up, but the officials did not see it or interpret it that the ball was not in the air yet. And with that, the East avoids a penalty, and the West punts the football with the win.
What we haven't seen is a miscue for the most part. This is over the head of Aguiar, back in the goal. He's going to kick it for a safety. Kicked out the back line. There's a flag down. So Aguiar, the snap was over his head on the punt.
Well, how did you call that?
Well, I was just saying.
That was the announcer's jinx right now. You're a basketball guy. I've seen the announcer's jinx cost a guy who's hit 7 straight free throws to miss the 8th.
Yeah.
But that's not like worth that many points. Like in a football game, you just called it on the. You jinxed the center. He snapped that thing. That was a beautiful spiral, except for it was way over the punter's head.
The officials, by the way, they're different the second half. Kirk Simone, Todd Lee, Jeremy Derringer, Jared Rand, Brad Rice, Garrett James is second. Pete Didio is third.
Look at that snap over the head. Now it's an illegal kick right here.
Okay, that's the penalty. Man, good call.
So the question is how do you apply this penalty right there? Because could it be a penalty and half the distance to the goal and take over at the 1 yard line?
Yeah, here's Kirk
Or
Simone.
is it a safety?
Kirk Simone's refereeing his 14th Shrine Bowl. He's really well known among high school officials in the state of Kansas, so he is right on top of it. Let's listen in and see what's going to happen here. So safety it is. And we're going to go to break. It's 7-2. East is on the scoreboard with a safety. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl for Kearney Smith Stadium at Pittsburgh State University.
Make the easy drive to Hayes for family-friendly summer fun. You'll find new restaurants to try, new ways to learn, and new places to play, like our Arc Park, an all-accessible playground with splash pad. Hayes is the perfect place to meet up with old friends and make some new ones. Make your summer getaway to Hayes. Plan your trip today at visithays.com.
Get back in the game with the Kansas Shrine Bowl Alumni Association. We hope the Kansas Shrine Bowl had an impact on your life. Now help us continue to impact the lives of kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children. Get reconnected with the Kansas Shrine Bowl at kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni. This year we'll have special offers and events just for our alumni. Former coaches, players, and staff members. Go to kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni and complete the form.
Well, it's not 7-0 anymore. It's 7-2. East has come through with a safety, and in fact, the East team is about to receive a punt. The momentum has shifted.
Yeah, free kick from the 20-yard line. You can punt it or bring a tee out and kick it off. So with the wind behind his back, Aguilar will kick the football. And Mark, after you jinx the snapper, there was an illegal kick, and I think the choice the East had was to take the penalty on the illegal kick, but that would allow the West to have another 4th down and then punt. So they said, no, we're declining the penalty. We'll just take the safety. And look at that boot, 80 yards with the wind.
Boy, Aguilar just showed why his reputation has been built around his leg. He just scooted that one in the end zone, and that means the East have a long field within 7-2 of the West squad. And Aguilar taking high fives on the sideline. The Dodge City product will be playing his football at Fort Hays State University, and the guy that's been the centerpiece of emotions for the West squad. Saw a snap go over his head, but he rebounds with a nice kick from the 20-yard line.
And when you saw the ball get in the end zone, Mark, the West team wasn't close. You think, why didn't he pick it up and bring it out? He could get past the 20-yard line. But in high school, you're not allowed to bring any kick out of the end zone. If the ball gets to the end zone, the play's over.
Here's Reeder, 1st down and 10. This time he's going to give the receiver on the end around. This is a little bit of a wrinkle. Didn't see this in the first half. And so, in fact, we've seen a lot of this is kind of a similar pattern. Ball carrier was Zach Knowlton. He's out of Spring Hill. Coaches have a couple of plays, a couple of wrinkles that they probably are waiting until now, but there's no time like now. So here's Reeder, pick up of 3 yards on the play.
Well, they can revamp what they're doing tremendously because remember they had a first half and then they had a long halftime to talk about it. And they have a lot of plays in their playbook, even though it's an all-star game. So they just say, hey, this is what we want to do. And I think they want to find balance in their offense. They want to be able to run the ball more predictably. Out of the 36 plays they had in the first half, they ran 18, but they were forced to pass early, had the couple interceptions. Right now, can they run the ball for first downs and then pass when they want to?
3rd down and 3, trying to get to the line to gain, which is about the 30-yard line. As I'm eyeing it here,
he got that.
It looks like Reeder got it.
Because remember, they started this drive on the 20. So you can see it's pretty easy for the officials and for you watching it. If he gets past the 30 right there, easy first down to the 31-yard line. And how about that? That's the first time tonight we've seen the East run the ball 3 times and get a first down.
So the ball marked at the 31-yard line.
But it's the first time Reeder's come out. Reeder is not the quarterback right now. So this is the first time the East has made a switch at quarterback.
It's like Jules Guard, who's the defender.
Yeah, he has only practiced quarterback one day because they didn't think he was going to play anything but defense. Remember, Torrey Horrick, who's going to go to Central Missouri out of Rossville, was the other quarterback for the East. But with a leg injury, he at the end of the week said, I can't go. So he's not available tonight. And that's when they said, hey, Truman Jules Guard, you've been a safety all week long. I know you played quarterback in high school. You're going to have to come over and learn some offensive plays because we need you as a backup quarterback. And this is the first time he's taken a snap. And you see the East was not on the same page right there. When you get a different quarterback, a different voice, a different rhythm, it can cause some problems.
So Jules Guard, who played in high school football at Lawrence, 6-footer, 190 pounds, called to at least give Reeder maybe a breather. If Reeder is hurt, we're not aware of that. There's the handoff inside. Busting a play to the 32-yard line. Strong run from number 22 is Zach Sizemore. He's out of Basehor Linwood. His career 3,834 yards for the Basehor Linwood product, 44 rushing touchdowns, 50 total. So he's used to finding the end zone, and for the East purposes, trying to get the to move the chain. Second down and 9 here.
4 straight runs by the East.
And on the rollout, looking downfield, and as a receiver, ball is caught. And it's caught by Garrett Fager out of Osage City. He catches another ball. He had a big first half and a big catch there. East moves the chains. It's first down and 10.
Blake Reeder's back in, rolling out. And he's done a nice job of really keeping his eyes downfield and throwing over defensive players that are in a danger area. He's been able to get the ball up and over. Being 6'4", it seems like his launch angle has allowed him to get the ball up and over, and East overcomes that 5-yard penalty, has the first pass of this possession after 4 straight runs, and they get the ball all the way out to the 47-yard line.
Long count. You saw Kendrick Jones go from the right side to the left side. He's one of 3 receivers on the top side of your screen. Handoff is given to Zach Sizemore. He is hit hard by number 1 of the West squad. That's Jackson Kozol, who's out of Salina Central. Boy, Jackson Kozol, 5'11", 175, gave him all 175 pounds of
He's a good hitter.
pressure.
Wow,
Boy, did he smack it.
Perfectly done, legal, head up, doesn't target. He has been tough all week long.
Second down 5, inside 8 minutes to go. Third quarter, 7-2 is our score. West leads the East. And here's Reeder. Reeder trying to make a move, wrapped down at the 45-yard line. Ball is loose. The West thinks they've got it. On the end of that play, the West came up with it, and a fumble recovery. The West has it. It's West football. The fumble recovery, Matthew Rodriguez out of southeast of Saline, who is playing his last football game of his career, who comes up with a turnover.
Reeder running the ball over the left side, gets past the big guy, Gavin Bell, and then when he's hit by the second player, Colby Kleiman, looks like he's the one that knocked the ball loose, and jumping on it, Matthew Rodriguez. And Matthew Rodriguez's favorite player is Clay Matthews. What the heck is he doing saying an old linebacker from Cleveland? How does he even know Clay Matthews played football? I don't know, but he picked up the fumble. Third turnover of the game. What a great hit by Colby Kleiman.
7:42, West takes over. A terrific play made by Matthew Rodriguez, who's been friends with number 4. That's Chase Pogue, also from southeast of Saline, since they were kindergartners. A couple friends on the same team of the West squad, and that turns things aside. Meanwhile, back to pass, looking for a receiver. Far sideline, pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Tyson Struber out of Canton Galva, who, by the way, is headed to K-State, as Stan mentioned. He connected with K-State through camps, football camps. How does an 8-man player connect with a Division I school? A pretty good way to do it. But check it out, 2019 state champs was Canton Galva, and his record at Canton Galva will stand for a while. 4,040 yards, 70 touchdowns. Not a typo, 4,040, 70 touchdowns for Tyson Struber.
I just wonder if he's better at robotics than football. Still got to ask that question.
Second down and 10, out to pass. Lance Hofsheimer is going to keep it, trying to get to midfield. Really closely gets to it. Pulled down on the tackle by Zach Kramer out of Nemaha Central.
Great pursuit by the defenders out there. And one of them, number 90, Brooks Lowe. You see number 90 showing up chasing from behind. Doesn't get the tackle, but you see him finishing off the play right there. His inside pursuit forced the quarterback into that kind of trouble. And Brooks is an unbelievable track athlete. He's the 6th best javelin thrower in the country right now. He's rated number 6 in high school. He's going to play football and track, throwing the javelin at Emporia State.
Hofsheimer, quick pass to get to the back. 45 down to the 40-yard line, first down and 10. Still on his feet and wrestled down to the 40-yard line as the pass catch is made to the running back, and the West squad is in East territory.
And think about that, only the second pass completion of the night. But on 3rd and long, we talked about the formula for the West. Keep the football away from the East. If you get the lead, run the ball, and here convert on 3rd down. Perfect swing pass. Lance Hofsheimer gets the ball out there to Evan Cantu, and he's able to take it around the right side. Great read, great play. And the West, in no hurry, gets up to the line of scrimmage, huddling, using time. What a great third down conversion to put them in East territory.
Single score ball game inside 6.5 minutes to go the third quarter. Hofsommer gives to the tailback. Tailback leans forward, gets close to the 35-yard line, which would be a pickup of about 4 yards. And the running back once again, Evan Cantu out of Maize South.
A little pull by the tight end from the right to the left. Getting a block right up the middle. You fake to the fullback one way. You give to the tailback the other. This is old school football.
Boy, and Cantu
back when you were in college, that was a normal play by every team in the country who didn't run the wishbone. Some people ran the wishbone.
We didn't have turf back then. It was all
No,
grass,
this turf, we talked about the turf at halftime. What's great about the turf is it acts like grass.
Here's Cantu again, 35-yard line down to the 33. What I was going to tell you, Stan, is Cantu, get this, who just carried the football. And you probably mentioned he had 4 5-touchdown games. So 4 games in his high school career, he scored 5 touchdowns.
He's going to walk on to K-State. And did he have 4 touchdowns in that game against Heights when he ran for 402 yards against Wichita Heights?
You know, I think he did. I think that was one
402 yards. And he's so powerful. In his weight class, he was a powerlifting state champion.
Third down, we'll call it 5. The West team just converted a third down. This time, Cantu's hit the 30-yard line. The line to gain is about the 29-yard line. And just looking at it, it looks like defender Brett Sarwinski out of Galena just made a play. Sarwinski, by the way, older brother's PJ, who played in 2017, Nick in 2020, makes a play to make his older brothers proud. It is a 4th down and 1.
And this is where the West says, if we can get a first down here, we are going to burn some more clock, demoralize the East, and maybe end up with a score. But a big play here. The East defense really needs to get a stop.
See if they want to run a sneak here, and it's exactly what they have in mind. Hofsommer, those big guys up front for the West, that offensive line just pushes the East back, and it's a 1st down and 10 for the West squad as they continue to move toward the end zone.
Well, this is exactly how the West has done it. When you go back and look at Shrine Bowls over the past years, you see head coach Troy Black saying, guys, we get the lead, we wear them down in the second half, we stick with basic football. Here's the play before the run by Cantu that got them into position. Hard hit, made it 4th down, but a quarterback sneak converts.
Lance Hofsommer gives to the tailback. Here's Cantu. Cantu spins out of one tackler, but the East catches up with him after a gain of about a yard. And still on his feet, Cantu down to the 20-yard line, down to the 19. And Cantu, boy, is he tough to bring down.
It looked like that play was blown up by nose guard Cody Schalk, who's done such a fantastic job. The young man from Columbus looks like he has a tackle. He's the only guy who made a play right there. He slowed the play down. But continuing to fight and claw, and right there they said his knee wasn't down. Wow, that was a close call.
Close. 2nd down and 4 is what that makes that. I'm with you on that one. Here's the give to the tailback. Here's Cantu again. He's on a mission this time, popped up front. Boy, they are wrestling down there. And big number 33, Brecken Choike, Gerard, was right in the middle of all that.
I'll tell you what, there's been good tackles here. We've seen the West move the ball, and they're happy with that. But it's not as if they're just running over the East. Some very good physical tackling by different players up front. And a lot of guys getting into the football, but can you do it 2 plays in a row? Here you got one of those 3rd and 2.5, 3rd and 3s. West feeling very comfortable that they can make a first down in 2 plays.
West converted a 3rd down and a 4th down, trying to do it again, and they're going to do it 15-yard line. Here's Cantu down to the 13. Cantu has been the go-to guy for the West squad, and he converts another first down.
His favorite all-time player, he's watched some tapes of Walter Payton, and Walter Payton was a workhorse. Loved getting hit, finishing runs, and I think Evan Cantu trying to do that. Did you see the East defender try to strip the football? That was a smart play. He almost yanked that thing out.
East would love to get a turnover here. The West started on their own 47-yard line, and it's 1st down and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. Here's Cantu. Cantu spins, gets down to the 11-yard line, and the East thinks they have a turnover. The East squad has a turnover, a fumble, and coming out of that is Brett Sarwinski out of Galena. We're going to take a break here. 7-2 is our score. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl from Kearney Smith Stadium. The East will have it when we come back.
We've all heard what they say about us. Fly over state, middle of nowhere, a bunch of country folk, go ahead and fly on over. There's nothing going on, nowhere to be. And yeah, we've got a lot of hard-working, entrepreneurial, best neighbor you could ask for farm families. We're proud of Kansas, and that's why we built our entire network for it. Nex-Tech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
When sports injuries occur, the experts at Stormont Vail Health provide vital services to ensure a healthy recovery. From screening and evaluations to treatment and rehabilitation, Stormont Vail helps athletes with
Getting back on the pitch.
Getting back to personal records.
Getting back in the set. Getting back on the court.
Getting you back on the field.
Stormont Vail, getting you back in the game.
Watch me. Here I stand on my own 2 feet. Jump shot intact, here to compete. Skilled hands were there to mend the bone. From loving halls that brought me home. My world stopped with a drive through the lane. Now give me the ball. You'll remember my name. Watch me. Orthopedic excellence at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Back-to-back fumbles. West leads the East by a score of 7-2. The East, after giving up the football after a promising drive, and forced one from the West squad to get the ball back.
Yeah, in the red zone, the West moving the ball, but just a ball knocked away just slightly. I don't think Cantu even realized that Zach Kramer, who was being blocked, was there, and he knocked the ball loose.
Empty house backfield. Here's Reeder. Reeder has a receiver caught. 35-yard line, close to the 40, and the East is on the move. Following the turnover, Zach Atkins with the catch. And the finalist for the Otis Taylor Award out of Blue Valley Southwest moves the ball to the 40-yard line.
The East has turned over 3 times. That was the first West turnover, and the East strikes right back with that throwing game down the seam. This time in a 3 coverage, thirds coverage, there was more room in that seam to throw the ball.
Give to the tailback. Tailback could get to the 41-yard line. This is Giovanni Blackie out of Paola. Mid-American Nazarene product. He was heavily recruited by the JUCOs. In fact, nearly all of them across the state of Kansas before deciding to go to Mid-America Nazarene. He's showing his skills tonight.
And the West, if they were able to go down and score a touchdown, you keep thinking, well, that's their first touchdown, so the game's tied. But you got to remember, they got a safety on their side. So if they get a touchdown, they are ahead in this game. They've been able to move the ball better than the West tonight.
Raider slingshot out of bounds. Boy, you got a receiver down there. It was Kendrick Jones. But that time the West brought the pressure, and Reeder didn't have a lot of time. In fact, threw it off his back foot trying to avoid pressure.
Yeah, that ball was thrown hopefully in a safe area because his receiver played very well. Good coverage over there. Jackson Causel was in the area, had a great defensive position, and just nothing open for quarterback Blake Reeder.
3rd down and 9. Line to gain is right at midfield. East needs to get to the 50 to move the chains. And here's Reeder on the rollout. Looks like he's trying to set up a screen, goes downfield, pass is incomplete. Nearly intercepted again. It was intended. Trent Spiker out of Doniphan West had a shot at it, but no better of a shot than the West defender. And now a 4th down situation is coming up.
Jake Dirksen looks like he's going to have an interception, but somehow I think the quarterback got it over his hands again, and it just surprised the heck out of Trent Spiker. The ball actually hit Trent Spiker in the hands, but the distraction of the defender jumping up and looking like he's going to intercept the ball. Offensive linemen were downfield, so the penalty will be declined. But how about Blake Reeder? How is he able to throw the ball barely over defenders' hands? This is a guy who's ready to go play tight end. This is his last game as a quarterback. He only played quarterback his senior year and, like you said, maybe his freshman year. But it's amazing how he's willing to throw the ball right over a defender's head.
Spiker is about to punt, and Briebauer is the long snapper, and this one handled at the 30-yard line. Still on his feet, 38-yard line. The return made by Harrison. So the return was made by Braxton Harrison. He's out Cimarron, headed to Fort Hays State, 6'1", 180-pounder. Nice return.
Yeah, he's been an aggressive punt return tonight, hasn't he? Remember that ball where he caught deep and brought it out when there were all kinds of East defenders there? So not a lot of blocking, but this guy, very aggressive. And he's already played in a big-time high school football game. Do you realize he played in the All-American West Coast Bowl in SoFi Stadium?
I did not. Is that right?
Yeah.
No.
In 21, he was there, and that's where they played the Super Bowl. That's where the Rams, the Chargers play. So it'd be fun to talk to him after the game and say, how was that experience?
Wow. Yeah, he's had a heck of a senior year and a nice little summer. 2 tight end set for the West squad. Back in the game is Jeremiah Moore. Moore gives to his tailback, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a yard or two. And that's Elliott on the carry. Elliott out of Buhler. Back-to-back 2,000-yard rushing seasons. He was the homecoming king, and the night he was crowned, he was also passed the record to become the all-time leading rusher in Buhler Crusader country.
Is he as good a football player as he is wrestler?
Or is he as homecoming king? Yeah, he's good, yeah.
3-time state championship wrestler, star running back, and homecoming king.
Your receiver, again, double tight end set. Here's Moore. Moore gives to the tailback. Tailback is swarmed under by a host of East players, including Truman Julesgaard, who got a shot at quarterback for a little bit. That time Elliott is swamped under. It looked like a loss of about a yard, which takes it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Shows you how close East defense is to the line of scrimmage. You just mentioned a safety who made a tackle on about a 2-yard gain. So big number 75 seems to always be there, causing havoc. Cody Schalk, but the East defense so close now, just daring the West to throw the football.
7-2 is our score. West leads the East. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl. The fourth quarter is on the way here. Carney Smith Stadium on the campus of Pittsburg State.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. They also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
No, I insist.
It's your turn.
Nope, I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you.
Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Watch me. Watch me pirouette with style and grace. An open floor of inspiration. This is my place. 5 positions to start, leotard and tights. A story through movement, under music and lights. Straight and tall, they promised I'd stand. I'm a ballerina who twirls like the blades of a fan. Watch me. Innovative scoliosis treatment at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
7-2 is our score. West leads the East as we start the final quarter alongside Leon Liebel on the sideline, Stan Weber in the booth. I'm Mark Ewing, and we get set for a single score between the two teams as we head to hopefully an exciting fourth quarter. And it should be. West has the football with a long 3rd down and 9. On the previous drive, they converted 2 3rd downs and a 4th down. Here's Jeremiah Moore. Moore looking downfield, has a receiver pass tipped away and broken up. Nice play by the East defender. It was intended downfield for Harrison Both, but there to make the play, Will Gavin out of St. Thomas Aquinas got a hand in there.
Will Gavin's going to play basketball at Johnson County Community College, but he has been such a good defender that we haven't called his name tonight. Cornerbacks who guard their guy and do not allow the quarterback to even think about throwing their way are doing a great job.
That's
so I'm so glad we can talk about him, because that's been a story all week long. Remember how much the East throws the football? He's been out there at practice, and they don't even notice him because he's guarding his guy so well, and he knocks the ball away there.
Well, that time Aguiar just had the ball snapped over. That time he had to pick it off the turf, and it's going to take a favorable East bounce. They're going to have great territory out of the 42. And Aguiar had to scoop that off the turf that time. He did have a better punt than he had previous, but the East is in really good shape here in the 4th quarter. 11:45 to go here. Plenty of time and in good shape, but can the East move the football? That is certainly the question.
Well, think about this. If you want to be encouraged about the East's opportunity to win this game, the West in 3 quarters plus has 60 total yards, but they've turned the ball over. They've caused 3 turnovers. That's been a difference. The East has gained 208 yards, the West only 60. So, again, the East has every capability of coming back, getting a touchdown here and getting the lead.
Blake Reeder in shotgun. He's going to give to the tailback. Inside the 40, moves forward to the 43, 44-yard line. And again, the ball carrier, Jack Sizemore to Basehor Linwood. Led the Bobcats to the United Kansas Conference Championship in 2021. Still trying to find some move. There hasn't been much. Ben Patterson has had a big defensive night out of Hutch High.
Yeah, he and Kleiman both squeeze the play and cause a short gain.
2nd down and call it 8. Long snap here. Again, the big key player, but perhaps at least one of them, Kendrick Jones, is to the near side. He's on the bottom portion of your screen. 3 receivers up top. And now one of the receivers goes to the near side. Bringing a little pressure.
Double pass.
Little trick play. Looking for a receiver. Doesn't have one. And going to go down. Great. So that was our trick play. Garrett Fager caught the reception. Was looking for a receiver downfield. Probably made a smart play there because there was nobody open.
Because he didn't throw it, that's going to be officially called a running play. He threw the ball backwards. The lateral allows him to throw the ball downfield. But the defense, with that coverage that they've got, that thirds coverage, they didn't bite up at all. They stayed back, so no receiver was over the top. No one was open. And so when he caught the ball out there, he's like, what am I going to do next? Green jerseys around everywhere.
3rd down and 13 under big pressure. Reeder looking downfield, has a receiver. Catch is made. Guess who? It's Garrett Fager again out of Osage County. Osage City product. He makes the play. And he's had a big night. He's had the biggest offensive night for the East squad tonight, no doubt.
Well, there's a scrambling of Blake Reeder. Throws the ball high up in the air and then allows his receiver to come back to the ball. Garrett Fager had run his route, wasn't open, but rather than continuing to run deep, he stopped, came back to the football, made himself available. Blake Reeder delivered, and we've seen East do this a few times tonight. They haven't been completely consistent, but on 3rd and long, they've made some plays.
In West Territory, the 36 handoff goes down to the 35. Keep in mind, East has not won the Kansas Shrine Bowl since 2018. Where was it played? Right here at Kearney Smith Stadium, home of the Pittsburgh State Gorillas.
21-14 win that game.
There's Cantu, the running back. Stands just off to the left shoulder of Reeder. Reeder looks at the receiver on the far side, almost got the West squad to jump, and now resets. Long snap coming. In the slot near side is Kendrick Jones. Looking toward that way. Jones makes a catch. 30-yard line. I had a feeling it was Jones's turn. He makes a good catch this time. He holds on to it.
Good arm strength there by Blake Reeder. Just 2 quick hitches by his outside guy. The inside guy's covered, so he throws the ball from the right hash mark all the way over to the numbers on the left side. Good tackle, though. How about Jackson Calzel there to make the tackle, not allowing him to run with the football any further. So it sets up a 3rd down, but they're going to be going for it here. 3rd and 4. They got 2 downs to make these 4 yards to keep this drive alive.
3rd down and 4. Cantu just off the right shoulder. Reeder. They look towards the offensive sideline. Call is made and man in motion. Reeder as a receiver. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Kendrick Jones. The pass was well behind him.
Yeah, not on the same page. Blake Reeder thought it was going to be a back shoulder throw or a quick hitch, and Kendrick Jones was on the fly. So I was wondering if they might run the ball there since they had 2 downs, but they're saying we're throwing it here. But now it's going to be 3rd and 5. And the pass rush for the West has been good. They send a lot of blitzes, and they will here as well.
Boy, Jackson Coswell has the defensive assignment on Jones right now down the bottom portion of your screen. They got a triad of receivers to the right side. Here's Reed looking for some blocks. He's going to move inside of the 25-yard line, and it's going to be very close to the first down marker needed on a 4th down and 4 yards, and Reeder thinks he's got it.
I think the official's marking it as a first down. As he fell down, his knee fell down before his body flew all the way forward, but it looks like he made it far enough to pick the first down up. You see his knee went down. He didn't make it all the way to the line at the 25, but he didn't need to do that. He only needed to get to the 26-yard line. So as his knee went down, the football had reached the marker, and barely by inches, the East keeps the drive alive with their first 4th down conversion of the night.
First down and 10, 26-yard line. The East team wants a timeout to talk about it. We're going to take a break here. 7-2. East is on the move. Can they make the rally to take the lead? We're about to find out. You're watching the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl from Pittsburg State.
Ever since the ads for Crawcan's amazing gigabit internet, schools of people go bananas every time they see me. There is such a thing as too chummy, am I right? I mean, should I feel guilty for wanting a normal life? Do I have to move to Finland to escape this cursed fame? Wait, does Finland have Crawcan internet? Don't get bit, get gigabit with Crawcan.
Make the easy drive to Hayes for family-friendly summer fun. You'll find new restaurants to try, new ways to learn, and new places to play, like our Ark Park, an all-accessible playground with splash pad. Hayes is the perfect place to meet up with old friends and make some new ones. Make your summer getaway to Hayes. Plan your trip today at visithayes.com.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Trailing the West by a score of 7-2. The East is on the move. First down and 10. They have the ball at the West 26-yard line. The West team would love to make a big defensive play. Meanwhile, the East team showing one of its most promising drives of the Kansas Shrine Bowl so far. Line up with 3 receivers. With Zach Knowlton on the move. Give us to the back. Here's Knowlton on the jet sweep. 20, 15-yard line. Makes a move down to the 10-yard line. And that, another wrinkle in the East offense. Knowlton gets the ball down to the West 10-yard line.
That's misdirection right there. They're trying to make the West believe that everything was going to the right. But when they shoveled the pass, it was a lone guy working his way from left to right, and it worked. Zach Knowlton got out of the backfield. That's called a pass, but it moves the ball near the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10-yard line, calling first and goal. Here's Cantu. Or rather, Sizemore gets the ball down to the 7-yard line.
And the
7
East
yards to the end zone.
has a chance to possibly take the lead They didn't score in last year's game, and here they've been down all game long with an early first quarter touchdown by the West. They did get a safety, but can they get the lead? They're only 8 yards away, maybe 7.
Bo Van Bruggen on the tackle. He's out of Bueller for the West squad. And here's Reeder on the handoff. Looking for a block, sprint to the end zone. 5, touchdown, he got in there. Touchdown for the East squad by Jack Sizemore. The 6'1", 190-pounder finds the end zone. And after a long drought, the East has taken the lead on the West.
He barely was able to reach forward and cross the goal line. The East has their first touchdown of the ball game. Zach Sizemore playing his last football game from Baser Linwood, where head coach Rod Stahlbaumer was the head coach. Now they got a swinging gate. Will they go for 2?
Going for 2 here. Trying to find the end zone. Going to get 2. So we're going to go to break here. Score becomes 10-7. The East leads the West by a field goal and an 8-point drive. Touchdown for the East. Going up with a 2-pointer from Truman Julesgaard. We take a break here. 10-7. East leads the West in the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl.
Get back in the game with the Kansas Shrine Bowl Alumni Association. We hope the Kansas Shrine Bowl had an impact on your life. Now help us continue to impact the lives of kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children. Get reconnected with the Kansas Shrine Bowl at kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni. This year we'll have special offers and events just for our alumni. Former coaches, players, and staff members. Go to kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni and complete the form.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
After taking the lead at 8-7, the East squad went for 2 and ended up converting the score to go up 10-7.
It's the right call, but they made it look like they might kick a PAT. They got in a swinging gate. A lot of times you shift out of it, but they don't. Truman Julesgaard, the backup quarterback tonight, runs it in, and a field goal lead for the East. They lead 10-7.
So the East is going to kick off the West, and now it's time for the West to see if they can rally. East defensively have been superb so far. Kickoff here, Ryan Feldkamp out of Jeff County North. He tries to kick it away from Jeremiah Moore. This one goes out of bounds, so that'll draw a flag, and the West will get to start in pretty decent field position because of the penalty.
What will West do here? That's a big question that we've got, Mark, because they have not thrown the ball hardly at all. They've not moved the ball very well tonight, but fortunately, they have 7:08 left. They do not have to be in a hurry. All they need to do is move down the field. They also got a very good kicker. Now, it's going into the wind, but as it gets later at night, I think the wind is less of a factor, but still a factor. Can Aguilar get down and get into field goal range? A lot of options for the West, but they're going to start doing something we haven't seen, and that's consistently move the football.
And that 58-yard scoring drive brought to you by Sharp Performance. Whether your dream is to climb Kilimanjaro or just keep up with your kids, Sharp Performance can help you design a program to support your goals, personality, and lifestyle. First play, a good running play. Found the edge that time, did Evan Cantu.
And that's allowed because there's plenty of time. With 7 minutes left, they don't have to get in a hurry. But it's the first time we've seen them run the option tonight. Now the shotgun, they get on the edge. And it's good as throwing an 8-yard pass for teams that throw the football. So the West doesn't have to throw, but they've got to be more effective running or passing the ball tonight in a game where they don't even have 100 yards of total offense.
Ball now, second down and 2. Ball at the 43-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side. Going to give to the tailback. Tailback moves forward. 45-yard line, tripped up. Got a nice block in there from Braxton Bailey out of McPherson. And close to the first down marker. In fact, the chains will move. First down for the West squad. So ball moves forward to the 45-yard line. And here's Evan Cantu. He's done it all night long. Has been used. In fact, had the West team into a pretty good scoring position. With the ball at the 45-yard line. Split receivers, top side of your screen. He's going to keep it as Jeremiah Moore's going to get a yard out of it. It's going to be a long play up front. And a second down and about 9 yards to go. We're getting close to picking our MVPs, but I don't know if we can pick it this early on. I don't know if we have a decisive way. What are you thinking here at the moment? That's always kind of the
They have
tradition.
an MVP for both teams, and I think you obviously have to consider Blake Reeder, the quarterback, who's quarterbacked every down for the East, who's been able to throw the ball effectively. Cody Schock, the big nose guard for the East, has done a good job for the West. You talk about Evan Cantu, has been a good running back.
Second down and 9, receivers caught right at midfield, and the catch is made by number 26. That's Trey Harmison. He's out of Riley County.
Good catch right there. His brother Garrett played in the 2020 Shrine Bowl. Be happy to see him make that catch. The throw here by Moore on the run. And right along the sideline, he's able to make the catch before the defender yanks him down.
Great third down and about 5. And at this point, midfield down by a field goal, 10-7. You got to think the West is at 4-down territory from here on out, especially with the clock moving. Inside 4:45 to go here before the end of the game here. East leads West 10-7. East came through the safety and then a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion. And here's Moore under pressure, still has it, caught from behind and wrapped down and brought down. What a play made once again by a host of East defenders.
Now, from behind, Jeremiah Moore had no idea that someone was right behind him. He's good at running and juking and being hard to tackle, but he had no idea that Isaiah Tyson, big number 78, was behind him to make the tackle. We're going to have a timeout on a giant 4th and 6 play.
Explore Crawford County is proud to be a partner of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. See all the great things to see and do in our community at explorecrawfordcounty.com. Farm Bureau Financial Services has been a proud supporter of the Kansas Shrine Bowl for more than 40 years. Protect what you value most. Contact a local agent today. And certainly we've talked about the Venmo Challenge, which has been back, and still plenty of time to make a donation before this game is over. KansasShrineBowl.com, and you can see your message at Kansas Shrine Bowl in that regard. See your message, contribute to the bottom of tonight's broadcast, give a shout out to your favorite Kansas Shrine Bowl participant, and do it all for the kids. It'll be kind of fun to watch tonight. And meanwhile, here's a raffle. They're trying to give away, see this four-wheeler on the field of Moa sitting at the 25-yard line. This is all the people who have donated to the chance. And BJ Harris. How about that? So BJ acted like he knew him. He smiled when he saw the name. And congratulations to the winner of that vehicle.
That may be because BJ knows almost everybody who's
yeah,
associated with this game.
BJ took that out of the hamper there and smiled, so I assumed. With the West fans, the green, and plenty of excitement. Take that home with you tonight. Winner of a brand new car. Good shot from the end zone. It's been fun to watch this game and see it progress. Kearney Smith Stadium, they call it the pit in the jungle. It's been a terrific host. They've been playing football here since 1923. Can seat nearly 8,000 tonight. Pretty good crowd on hand. for this fourth down play, and a huge play for the West squad. Here's Moore looking downfield, receiver incomplete, and the East is going to stop the West and get the football back with 4:05 to go.
Jeremiah Moore is a dangerous player who can run the football, but he took a big hit slow to get off the field, and the East just did not give him room to run. And that's been something that's occurred all night long. When he scrambles, he's had to throw the ball the few times he's thrown it into coverage, and he would rather probably scramble, but unable to do that. The East takes over. Can they run out the clock? With the West having 2 timeouts left in this game. 4:05 is plenty of time, but it needs to be pretty quick that they stop the East.
Ted Skowski has had a terrific game. Here's the East team as they take it first down and 10 at the West 49-yard line. 4:05 to go. The West team does have timeouts to burn if they need it. Reeder, first down and 10, single back behind him in the pistol. And the handoff forward, this is Giovanni Blackie, who was injured in weeks 1 through 4 of the high school season, was Blackie, which is why his stats are not as enormous as other high school backs comparatively, but he still ended up with 1,226 yards, 8 touchdowns, and here's the big number, 7.38 yards per carry. Got a couple of yards, make it 2nd down and 8. And again, the East team in the pistol. 3 receivers near side, tied in the far side, long count, and the clock is moving. Inside 3.5 to go in the ball game.
They want to use as much clock as possible.
There's Blackie. Blackie inside will get a yard. Tackle is made by, among others, Matthew Batusek from Hillsboro.
Didn't allow him a lot of yardage to be gained. Great penetration by big number 90, Andon Carpenter. He is a guy that the coaches say is going to be a good player at KU, where he's going to walk on, and said they love trying to talk to him and get him to smile because he's so serious all the time. He has been hard to block in practice, and here he comes up with a big play, and the West needs to come up with another one to force the East to punt.
3rd down and 6, 2:42 to go. Here's Reeder. Reeder's going to keep it. Does a nice job of dancing. Is not going to get the first down. Ball at the 40. Look at the West sideline. See if they're going to call timeout because the clock is moving. 2.5 to go.
They are going to call timeout.
Timeout's going to be called by the West team.
Now, what will the East do here? The decision by Coach Rod Stahlbomber after the good finish of the run. Blake Reeder looked like he's going to be stopped for about a 2-yard gain, but he continued fighting forward. Big number 57 makes a good block, Caden Fields, and that allows the quarterback to get close to a first down. So they are 1 yard away, 4th and 1. With 2:30 left, they probably feel comfortable enough with their defense to say, let's go for this 4th down. This is where the analytics come in nowadays, where in the old days they might punt, say, let's do field position football. You go, no, we can win the game if we just get this first down. There's not that much time left. So here we go, game-winning play from the East perspective.
Coaching staff getting their team organized. A good look at the East fans on their side. Boy, the great attendance tonight. All these folks paying the price of admission and certainly getting their money's worth. 10-7, East leads the West. West scored, took an early lead at 7-0 on a Lance Hofsommer run, and took that, in fact, to halftime. And then the East came up with a safety via snap that was over the head of the punter, and then a long drive, a 58-yard touchdown drive, which not only scored a touchdown but a 2-point conversion. There, scored 10-7 as the East squad comes up back on the field. They've got the ball, 4th down and 1, and certainly they're going to keep it. So there's Reeder, man of the hour. Blake Reeder, the quarterback. 4th down and 1. Let's see if they can end. Boy, and they got him. They got him before he got to the line of scrimmage. A big play by the West team. In there to make the play was Matthew Rodriguez down of southeast of Saline. He won the state wrestling championship at Gross Memorial Coliseum, which is at Fort Hays State. That's where he will wrestle next year. But what a wrestling takedown he made here.
Twice on 4th and 1. The East gets into the shotgun and doesn't get close to a first down as the West dives into the backfield, comes through with that 3-3 formation. That blitz not able to be picked up. They give themselves some hope. With 2:28 left in the game, they need a field goal to tie and a touchdown to win.
First down and 10. West squad, 44-yard line, down 10-7. Hofsommer looking for a receiver, has time. Still looking. Downfield. Pass incomplete. It was intended on the far sideline by the receiver, Matthew Holthausen, who averages 133 yards receiving a game.
That was a good pass. And Holthausen almost came with the catch. His dad, Josh, played in 1993 Shrine Bowl and probably felt his own hands sweating when his son didn't quite pull it in. But a good throw to give themselves a chance.
Second down and 10, ball at the 44-yard line for the West Squatters. Hofsommer. West squad looking to pass the football. Downfield pass is incomplete. It was intended again by Matthew Holthausen. Also, there was another West receiver, got to neither one of them, and a third down place coming up for Hofsommer and his West teammates.
Not easy to throw that ball when you're rolling out to the right with the pressure on you, but he did have a guy open. You know, the ball just didn't spin. You see that? He could have been aiming for number 16, or he could have been aiming for another receiver. They both were open. Matthew Holthausen was open as well, and the ball just came out like a knuckleball and bounced to the ground.
Three-man front for the East squad. And an extra defensive back. Hofsommer back to pass. This time lobs it long toward a receiver, and it's going to be a flag thrown to the far sideline. A flag is going to be thrown. The defender was Brett Sarwinski out of Galena.
He was a player who was a free safety. He came over and knocked the ball down, but the pass interference is not on him. It'll be a 15-yard penalty and first down for the West. So they get new life on 3rd and 10. Same kind of penalty we saw before. He threw the ball up. The cornerback, who had the underneath coverage, didn't see the football. So you watch Hofsommer throw the ball deep, and then it's the cornerback right there, number 17. He got turned around, but Will Gavin does not get credit for turning to the football. He said he had too much physicality, that he had his hands on the receiver. So it's a 15-yard penalty. First down for the West.
Ball marked to the 41-yard line in East territory. Now the fullback comes back in. 2:09 to go for the West team, down by a field goal. And here's a little trickery.
Reverse pass.
Double pass, looking for a receiver's got a man open, catch is made. 20-yard line, down to the 15-yard line. He holds on to it. Matthew Holthausen makes the catch, and the West is in business. They're well within field goal range of Emmanuel Aguiar.
Tight formation. Harrison Voth, number 16, started camp as a quarterback, but he moved to wide receiver. He's the guy that gets the football. See, number 16, he's a quarterback. He even practices as a quarterback this week. He's helped at the wide receiver position, but Harrison Voth throws the reverse pass downfield to Holthausen, and the West, with a field goal to tie and a touchdown to win, has the ball in the red zone.
Clock moving, about 90 seconds to go. Hofsommer rolls out, looking for a receiver in the end zone, and it's going to be overthrown. The receiver downfield was well covered, and the pass, which was intended for Chase Pogue, is just out of range, but it does stop the clock. 1 minute and 28 seconds to go here in the ball game.
I thought he had his underneath receiver near the 10-yard line more open, so he was looking to try to score the touchdown. But you watch this play. Here's that reverse pass. And you got a throw by an all-star quarterback. That's the advantage of an all-star game. You got a regular quarterback who's throwing a pass downfield. It works, and it sets up all kinds of drama. There's only been one tie in Shrine Bowl history. Could it happen again? That happened in 2001, or will the West go for every down? Will they only think touchdown? Or could they, if they got the fourth down, rely on that good kicker?
We have at least 2 plays to figure it out. Second down here, ball at the 17-yard line. Hofsommer from Sedgwick High School gives to his running back, gets forward to the 15, down to the 14. This will make the clock move as the handoff was given to Sam Elliott out of Buhler. West team quickly goes into a no huddle.
They got plenty of time. Clock's not an issue. They even have a timeout. It's about executing, running the right play, but it is 3rd and long.
Hofsommer looks to his receivers, got it. Ball at the 10-yard line, down to the 7.
Guess who it is? The quarterback turned wide receiver, Harrison Voth, who threw the pass, makes the catch. Great throw to the slot receiver, right over the defender's hands. First down on a 3rd down and long conversion.
That's going to place the ball at the 7-yard line. West team trailing the East by a score of 10-7. Inside a minute to go. Exciting, thrilling finish on hand here in the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl. Hofsommer has a fullback behind him. Is going to roll out, looking toward the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Had a couple of receivers, but well defended by the West squad, or rather by the East squad on the play action.
He had his fullback, Will Doolittle, in the flat right away, but I think rolling to your left, it takes a little bit of time to gear up and get ready to throw. That's where an NFL guy would just flick the ball out, have his guy catch the ball probably about the 4-yard line and maybe be able to barrel into the end zone, but instead it's overthrown, stops the clock. 2nd down and goal at the 7-yard line, 35 seconds, 1 timeout left, so they can run the football. They do, remember, they like to run, and they may have the East thinking pass only.
East hasn't won this game since 2018. West trying to keep their winning streak alive. Ball at the 7. 2nd down, whistles fly.
A little post-play action.
All right, timeout's going to be called by the East squad, so they're on the field. They're going to talk this over and gives us an opportunity to set it up. This game, part of a series that started in 1974. Nearly 3,500 players have participated in the game, representing, get this, 343 schools. The first game was won by the West, 16-14. A game played at the University of Kansas. In the early years, the game rotated between K-State, Kansas, and Wichita State. In the last 9 years, the game has been hosted by 4 division schools in the state of Kansas. This 49th edition is rolled into Pittsburgh, and this is one we're going to remember for a while. Remember that day back in 2022 when it came right down to the wire. The fans on hand, you can tell this is a big moment. They want to win this game. Both squads want to, their fans as well. Great way to cap a terrific high school career, as many of them are headed to play college ball.
Well, new rules in Kansas have just started to allow betting. And right now, if you had, this would be an equal bet. Do you think the West is going to score a touchdown, or do you think the East is going to stop them? Remember, the West is not a great passing team.
No.
So at the 7-yard line with the field squeezed, it's not going to be easy for them to score a touchdown. So who would you rather be right now? Would you rather have the lead and be on defense, or would you rather have the chance to go win on offense? A really tough decision right here. But after a timeout, I wouldn't be surprised if the West said, hey, let's sneak in a run. Then we can use our timeout and decide what we want to do, because getting from the 7-yard line to whatever you can get will allow you to decide what play you want to run. They've been throwing on this possession. Don't get me wrong. Most people throw, but they are a good running team.
Well, Hofsommer stands at the 12-yard line. And shotgun whistles blow. Okay.
West moved, I thought. Yeah. That's a 5-yard penalty back to the 12 if it is against the West.
Well, that'll make it a little bit more difficult as they get pushed back. And that following the timeout.
Well, if it was anywhere near even at the 7-yard line, now there's a slight advantage for the defense at the 12. There's a little more room for the receivers to maneuver. And again, the quarterback, Hofsommer, he can throw the ball to a guy short. He does not have to throw the ball to the end zone.
This time, 3 receivers near sideline. Here's trying to get in one-on-one isolation to the end zone. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Tyson Struber, the 8-man representative, and was just thrown overhead. Notice the receivers went from the left to the right to set that up, trying to get one-on-one coverage.
Just threw the fade route up and over, just barely overthrown. That extra 5 yards makes it easier for the quarterback to try to find a receiver. But now that it's incomplete, the spinning wheels are turning. Let's just watch his 3rd down play, because I'll talk about 4th down decisions only if it happens. Can the West get in from the 12-yard line?
3rd down, ball at the 12-yard line. 4 receivers set, single back off the left shoulder, Lance Hofsommer. Hofsommer looking for a receiver, has time, lobs a pass toward the end zone, incomplete.
Was an incidental contact, no flags out on the field. West not happy about it as Chase Pogue got tripped up. He's limping off to the sideline, but his feet got connected with the East defender. And with 4th down, here's that decision I had. to talk about a little bit later. You kick the field goal and go for the tie on 4th and 12. This is the percentage play.
Here's Aguiar. The holder is going to be Ashland Villagomez. Kick is up, and it is good. He makes it. Aguiar has tied this ball game at 10-10 with 23 seconds to go. And the West, which ended up starting this drive from their own 44-yard line after the East turned the ball over on downs, ends up getting the field goal. However, there is a conversation among officials. So hold on here a second. There's 10 points on the scoreboard.
Well, now there may have been a penalty against the West. And I mean, against the East, the West may have a choice. Do you want to take the penalty and reevaluate the situation, or do you take the field goal and leave the points on the board? See, the running into the kicker would just have been a 5-yard penalty. And so they're saying we don't want to run a 4th down play over. And this is where the Twitter world can explode. Like, why didn't you try to win the game?
Yeah.
Take the penalty, run a play. Why did settle for a tie? No one likes ties, but unless the rules have been changed, this is the one game that is played that there's no overtime.
That's correct. Remember, the very first one was 2001. I think it was 12-12, if I recall correctly.
That's exactly right. That was your first game to do the TV broadcast, right?
And we were uncertain of what the rules were.
Said, okay, let's get ready for overtime, because in high school you snap the ball from the 10, the college you snap the ball from the 25, the NFL you kick off and start playing football. And we thought, okay, which version are they going to use? Obviously not the NFL, probably not the college. And then they said, nope, no overtime in the Shrine Bowl. So we may be looking at our second all-time tie.
Well, there's 23 seconds left. The East special teams, the returners, are Will Gavin and Devontae Herrick Britton, who are really notable. However, the kicker for the West team, Emmanuel Aguiar, certainly capable of kicking it out of the back of the end zone, as he's just kicked the tying field goal.
Who would have thought there was a safety, a 2-point conversion, and a last-second field goal to tie?
Yep,
those are not things you would have guessed coming into this football game.
And we talked about this, typically a special teams play of some nature, several of them tonight. And here's Aguiar about to kick off. Again, Gavin and Herrick Britton are back for the East team. Kick is deep, but there could be, and now it's going to go in the end zone. So there is going to be at least another play or two for the East squad. And if I'm the East head offensive coordinator, Kendrick Jones, who led Mill Valley to, remember, those 5A state champions, is certainly somebody that you talk about. First down and 10, ball be marked at the 20-yard line. And over the sideline, there's Rod Stahlbomber talking with his squad. The offensive team is together, and they want to get at least a couple of plays. And, you know, hey, they do have a wrinkle or two.
Well, they, remember, came out passing right before halftime and said, we're going to try to get the ball down the field. And they had a mistake on one play that kind of knocked the drive out, and then they ended the half without scoring. But they are ready to throw the ball up for grabs, which brings in interceptions into play as well.
Joe, this is going to be a running play, and they're going to run to the 30-yard line.
Call timeout.
And call timeout. Thought they could catch the West off guard a little bit. Certainly the running backs of both teams are capable of taking to the house.
Yeah, it's not bad if you get 11 yards. I mean, 11-yard pass play wouldn't have taken any longer. Now, East has one more timeout left, so they could run the football again, throw the ball down the middle. They don't have to worry about getting out of bounds. But you'd think that they'd like to throw the ball up for one of their 6'5" players. Kendrick Jones, you mentioned, or Zach Atkins. Both really tall players, taller than the defenders that the West will have out there. The West has played a lot of cover 3, but remember right before the half and in a third and long situation, they went to quarters and got an extra defensive back into the deep part of the football field, and that made a difference. Braxton Harrison knocked the football down earlier in the game that could have been a nice East completion down the seam. So I think the West defensive coordinator, Tony Crow, is going to say, I don't want just 3 deep. I want to cover those seams as well.
Let's see what Reeder and the East squad wants to do. 4 receivers all fleet of foot. With 16 seconds to go, there's a handoff. They're going to run it one more time. Got a good blocking up front. Going to go to the 41-yard line, and timeout's going to be called.
They get another 10 yards. So They get to the 41, call timeout. How much range do they believe that Davis Merrick has, the young man from Independence? Now, he is battling a little bit of a leg injury, not an awful one, but it may limit his capability. Rather than being a field goal kicker that you might think about from 50 yards, he may not be able to go as far. But at this point in the game, the adrenaline might be flowing for Davis Merrick, and he might say, "Coach, give me a chance, man. I'll try to kick a 50-yarder."
We've hit the end of the game here, and that is how it's going to end, at least at the moment. The
they didn't
clock
call
is on
timeout.
0. Rod Stahlbaumer and his squad over the East squad don't think they called, and that is how it will end. Okay. The 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl is the most unusual type. It comes to a conclusion. Final score, West 10 and East 10. After the game is over, as they shake hands, the little new wrinkle as far as the Kansas Shrine Bowl is concerned is that the football awards have actually been named. Gary Spaney Award will be given to the East Most Valuable Player. Spaney was a member of the first Kansas Shrine Bowl squad in the 1974. You certainly realize he was a member of the K-State Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, the West MVP is going to be named the Paul Kaufman Award. Paul Kaufman also played in that first Shrine Bowl game in 1974, had a terrific career with the Green Bay Packers, played for the Chiefs, played for Minnesota. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll tell you who the winners are going to be. Final score, West 10, East 10. We'll be back to Pittsburgh in just a moment.
With Farmers Auto multi-policy discount, the more policies you have with us, the more you could save on your auto insurance.
Hey, hon. Hi, honey. Like what?
Well, you'd get a discount for insuring your jet skis and boat, RV, life, home, and more. You could save up to 45%.
That's a whole lot of discounts.
Well, we offer coverage for a whole lot of things, and you could save a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks.
What's up, Dad?
17-car garage you got there?
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Sign Brothers, a proud Shrine Bowl partner, is more than your average sign company. We go statewide, specializing in all types of messages for sports and schools. Wall graphics for locker rooms, gyms, or school entry areas. Sign Brothers will design and install graphics that get your students and players excited about this school year. They also make banners, field and gym signs, plus all types of custom COVID messages for directions and social distancing. So reach out today for custom designed signs and learn about our special pricing for your school or business.
Watch me. Here I stand on my own 2 feet. Jump shot intact, here to compete. Skilled hands were there to mend the bone. From loving halls that brought me home. My world stopped with a drive through the lane. Now give me the ball. You'll remember my name. Watch me. Orthopedic excellence at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
East and West ended in a 10-all tie. That's how the 49th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl ends. A field goal from Aguiar from 29 yards out. East still had an opportunity. The way the game ended, at least it appeared, Stan, to me, that the East was trying to call timeout, at least set up another, maybe a Hail Mary play, but instead game ends. That's okay. It's a charity game, and 10-all tie, that's not all bad.
Yeah, you start this game saying the winners are going to be the Shrine kids, the Shrine hospitals, and the Shriners, who put on a great event and are able to achieve a lot of money donations and valued for their hospitals. And then you say, what about the game? Well, one team usually wins, but this time we get to stop right there because it's a tie. And so the players look with respect to each team and say, hey, we fought it out hard, we came to a tie, but we still got the real winners, the kids. The Shriner kids are the winners. What an interesting game. I mean, you so rarely see a tie nowadays in football, with overtime being everywhere. It's not in the Shrine Bowl for the second time ever. After that 12-12 tie in 2001, Mark, we've seen it again.
Yeah, they're awarding, the shot you just saw, they have 4 awards that they do this year. So I'm trying to catch up here a little bit, so give me a chance here. Blake Reeder is the East MVP.
And Ted Skalski, the linebacker, was the other award winner for the East.
So he becomes the Russ Reeder Leadership Award. Russ Reeder was a player who in 1975 played in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. He was out of Holton High School. He was going to play JUCO ball. And then K-State saw him and said, give this kid a scholarship. Great story. Ended up doing what he wanted to do. Meanwhile,
he was a weight and conditioning coach when I was at K-State.
Oh, is that right?
And
okay.
then he went to the Bears and the Packers as well.
Okay.
So a very famous guy in the health and fitness world.
Making the most of an opportunity. So there's the MVPs together there.
Braxton Harrison, the safety for the West.
And headed to Fort Hays State University. Reeder, both those young men played a tremendous ball game. Terrific. I love the battle right down to the end. Certainly turnovers played a huge part. Special teams play made a big part. Both teams had the opportunity to win the ball game on drives. And oh, by the way, the Mike Bell Leadership Award for the West team. Mike Bell out of Wichita, Bishop Carroll High School. Again, played in 75, played at Colorado State, played for the Chiefs. And so they got 4 awards: Gary Spaney, Paul Kaufman, Russ Reeder Award, Mike Bell Leadership Award. And those are the 4 awards that are awarded this year. And that's been kind of fun to watch that all happen. Meanwhile, hey, these guys were together for a week. They're friends for a lifetime. And then down their head coach, Troy Black, giving his team just some encouraging words and thanking them for their experience this week. And certainly on the east side, Rod Stahlbaumer with Basehor Linwood High School, giving his kids certainly the same sort of conversation. But again, these kids are friends for life, and they'll never forget the time in 2022 that they played to a 10-all tie. And by the way, the last game that ended in a tie in the Kansas Shrine Bowl, July 28, 2001, we were at K-State at the time, both Stan and I. Game ended in a 12-all tie, so 10-10, 12-12. The West keeps their streak alive a little bit. East kind of gets on the board, and that means we can think about Hays a year from now as we head to Hays, Fort Hays State University, which is the host of the 50th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl.
50th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl.
So the 50th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl is July 15th, 2023. So mark it on your calendar. I'll give you a moment. The Hays Convention and Visitors Bureau prepared a bid for that 50th event, which included a lengthy application, pledges for partnerships, and in the final selection round, an in-person pitch, which was presented by Janet Kuhn, who's the Hays Convention and Visitors Bureau Convention Sales Manager. Kuhn helped bring the Kansas Shrine Bowl to Hays in 07, 11, and 15. So back in 2023, they got the 50th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl. That'll be a good place. The West team will be the host team.
5th time that we'll have the Shrine Bowl in Hays.
And good to be back there. We look forward to. Meanwhile, these young men, a lot of them just played their last game.
Yeah, there are a number of them because some of them are going to play baseball in college. Some are going to play go to track. Others are going to play basketball, and some are going to go directly in the workforce. Some are going to schools like Wichita State that don't have football. So there are a number of players, and it was always great to put on the uniform one last time, no matter where you were. If you're a high school player, a junior high player, there's something special about football. And I'm on the National Football Foundation, Bill Snyder Family Kansas division of the National Football Foundation board, and they promote football. And you talk about Hall of Famers. We talked to Michael Bishop at halftime, trying to be a college football Hall of Famer, like Mark Semino did from K-State, like Bill Snyder, the coach, Darren Sproles, getting ready to go in. So football is such a great thing for the development of young men. Love to see the fact that there's being more and more flag football, so that women are able to play flag football, and it's catching on. That is a sport that you go around the country. There are actually high school associations in the country, almost 10 of them, I believe, Mark, that have not only regular tackle football, but flag football as a high school sport.
Is that right?
So just think if you did that in the spring, and you could play football tackle in the fall, and then you could come out in the spring. What happens if you also allowed it for girls? There's no reason why they can't play flag football at a high level. They could play tackle as well, but I think flag football is much more easily accepted and could be converted right now. So being part of that National Football Foundation, Bill Snyder Family chapter, just this Shrine Bowl reminds me that it's great for the Shriners, it's great for the kids, but you know what? Football's awesome.
It is
and these
awesome.
young men out here talking to their parents, talking to each other, they're going to remember this week that they were allowed to be a Kansas All-Star. When you're playing high school football, I mean, I remember when they said, you're going to go be an All-Star and play a football game at a big stadium as an All-Star. What a great honor it is. And so it's great to see all these guys on the field. And even though people may not like ties, there's no one with their dauber down, tears rolling down their face because they're lost. Everybody's kind of like, they forgot to score already.
Yeah,
they're talking about a lifetime of friendship. And hey, anybody who watched us, congratulations. You just saw the start of football season. Before the NFL has the Hall of Fame game right here, the Kansas Shrine Bowl. First football game of the year.
All right, let's go down to Leon Liebel. Leon Liebel's got a head coach, and maybe we'll get some MVP talk. We'll talk. Leon, take it away.
Well, thank you, everybody. And again, the head coach of the West squad, Troy Black. And it's been a while since I've been around a tie in football. I'm not sure. We always want to know how that feels. Does it feel? What does it feel like?
I feel kind of empty. I mean, like I told the guys, I said, you had such a great week. They're such great kids. They worked so hard that if we had lost, if we went for the win and lost, I think it would have tarnished it for them in the memory of everything they did. And so at least you didn't lose, we didn't win. So it's kind of like, darn it. But I just think a loss would have made it, I think it would have just not been as fun or memorable for them because they had a great week. They're great kids.
Well, on the flip side of that, something did have to feel like a win there toward the end of that game. It looked like the Eats had this game, and you guys made a stop late.
Oh, yeah.
And got the ball back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when they got ahead and they had all the momentum and we were struggling to move the ball anyway, and then we'd get the huge stop, and then we got down and we had our chances. I mean, we look back on it as coaches, we're like, man, we had a chance. We had early chance, didn't get any points, and had a turnover and did some things that, kicked some bad snap over the punter's head. So we had our chances, but I'm just glad it wasn't a loss, so they leave here disappointed. I mean, they know why they played. It was for the kids, but they're still competitors. We all are, and they want to win, but, I guess it's kind of in the middle. I mean, it just feels weird. It's a weird feeling.
It's such a slugfest, especially defensively. Did you see that going into this game was going to be like that?
Yeah, I coached this in '99, and there were set rules, and it was a lot of offense. And as they've expanded towards just football, the defense is always going to have advantage when you only got 7 days to prepare. And so last year was 14-0 and 10-10. So when the defense could do everything to blitz, and you don't know what everybody's going to line up in, it's going to be hard. It's hard to run offense and play offense in that situation.
Before we came over here, you insisted on having your picture taken with the defensive line. Why was that?
That was the group I coached this week. So we spent a lot of time together. Those guys were just great dudes. There were only 5 of them too, and so you spend a lot of time with those guys, and really the whole team. I mean, that's a very special group of young men. I was just amazed how they came together as a team. But that was my crew I was with all week. So we spent a lot of time together. Got to know each other really well.
Well, I'm amazed talking to these guys this week, the players, how they didn't know each other when they started. Now they're some of them are best friends, they tell me.
Oh, yeah, this group especially. I mean, last year we became a team and it was really awesome. And this group from day one really hit it off. And, man, they all bought in and everything was like kind of like just being a high school team. I mean, they was like a high school team from one town. And so it was a very special group. It was something I will never forget in the rest of my career. And so I'm just blessed to be able to be a part of it.
And no matter the tie, everybody's a winner.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody goes home kind of happy tonight anyway.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Troy
you.
Black, the head coach of the West squad here at the Shrine Bowl. Mark, back to you.
Shrine Bowl, the rest.
Just a great event. All kinds of work in preparation, executed very well by the Shriners, by B.J. Harris, the director, and the football players, the cheerleaders, the band members, and everyone else that were able to come to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and be involved in the activities here in the last few days, and those back at Ottawa and Hayes, who hosted the camp to start out last Sunday. These guys just reported last Sunday, became teams and played a good football game. Obviously the defense a little bit better than the offense, but it was good to see all these all-stars play, and just another great event. The football was fine, but really the reason why we play, strong legs run so weak legs can walk. It was great to see the effect for the Shriner kids. Getting a chance to meet them was especially a big part of this week for the players. Always is. It affects them for the rest of their lives. If you're around these Shrine kids, you just remember what great work the Shriners Hospital does, and that you've got it very good to be able to play football. And here we go. Football season's on now.
It is. Game's on. I was going to do, we are trying to effort some more interviews to conclude our telecast. So while we wait on our players to get to our position, let me just rehash how the scoring was. The West got on the scoreboard first, as Hofsheimer, a 10-yard run. Emmanuel Aguiar with the point after. It came with 1:22 to go in the first quarter, and it was 7-0. That is how the half would end. Both teams had plenty of opportunities. The West team, in fact, came up with a couple of interceptions on defense. That scoring play from Lance Hofsheimer was set up by an interception from Ashton Villagomez. Early on, Keegan McConnell had the first interception, and so the West team took a 7-0 lead. In the third quarter, the West team was set to punt the ball away, and a snap over the head of Emmanuel Aguiar got to the end zone. Actually, Aguiar kicked it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. That made the score 7-2. And then the East came through with a pretty good series in the fourth quarter. Zach Sizemore in a 7-yard run. The most interesting play was actually probably not the touchdown, as it was the 2-point conversion, as Jules Guard on a 2-point play pulled. Actually gave the East a lead at 10-7, and then in the final series of the game, stop as the East team turned it over on downs after starting on the West 49-yard line. The West got the ball, fourth quarter, 2 minutes 28 seconds to go, had the ball on their own 44-yard line, drove down the field, and Emmanuel Aguiar was set up for a 29-yard field goal. That tied it at 10-10. The East did have an opportunity with about 28 seconds to go to attempt to make a scoring drive to tie it, or at least take the lead, but the game ended. And that is how our Kansas Shrine Bowl ended, a score of 10-10. All right, Leon Liebel, you get to join us again. Leon?
And once again, we are down here in the field, this time with the East head coach, Rod Stahlbomber. And before we talk about the final score, I want to talk about the go-ahead touchdown for your team, because this was a struggle defensively, both teams, and your team struggled on offense. We came up with some big plays on that go-ahead drive.
Offensively we moved the ball at times, and then we had a couple of really bad turnovers that definitely flipped the field, put our defense in bad situations. So we felt confident that if we could just minimize the mistakes, that we could put together a drive like that. And that was kind of the first time that we actually executed and didn't shoot ourselves in the foot on a drive, and we were able to get down the field and score.
Final score was a 10-10 tie, and I guess, how does that feel?
Well, the ties? I don't know. You're competitive. You want a chance to win. We should have known that it could end in a tie, and we'd have probably handled that last drive just a little bit differently. But in the end of the day, the money all goes to the right spot, and it's a great cause. And so I think it was an entertaining game.
You thought there was a possibility of overtime?
We thought there was a possibility of overtime. Yeah, we talked with the officials. They didn't know either. So we probably should have just went ahead and tried to get down and kick a field goal, but we didn't. So.
What was this experience like for you and your players?
Oh, this week's it's an awesome experience. This is a phenomenal cause. The Shriners do an amazing job putting on this event, and not only just the game itself, but even bringing in the Shriners patients and getting our kids an opportunity to see what those guys go through, and I think that's extremely impactful. And I think that we had 39 guys on our roster that were just really, really great representatives of their communities and great kids, and they were a lot of fun to coach.
Specifically your quarterback, what can you say about Reeder there, the way he played in this game?
He made a couple big mistakes early that could have really just deflated him, and then he shook it off, and he made a lot of really big plays down the stretch for us. And that's the kind of adversity you talk about, and it's one of those things that you talk about the hospital patients and stuff and what they overcome, and then that's one of those situations in life where he probably drew from that and said, well, I made a couple mistakes, but guess what? My life ain't that bad. I can come back from it, and he did a good job of it. So he played well at the end.
Certainly a good comparison. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. Mark, send it back up to you.
Thanks, Leon. As we close the telecast, we wish to pass along our thanks to the Shriners of Kansas. B.J. Harris is the executive director, and his small but energetic staff, which includes office manager Bryce Kessler and treasurer Paul Honecker. The citizens of Pittsburgh and Crawford County have been terrific as first-time hosts for one of our favorite events of the summer. Production has been provided courtesy Mike Nelson and his crew. We thank them for their very fine work tonight. And once again, the final score, West 10, East 10. For Stan Weber, for Leon Liebel, this is Mark Ewing saying thanks for watching the 2022 Kansas Shrine Bowl, and so long, everyone, from Pittsburgh.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Get back in the game with the Kansas Shrine Bowl Alumni Association. We hope the Kansas Shrine Bowl had an impact on your life. Now help us continue to impact the lives of kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children. Get reconnected with the Kansas Shrine Bowl at kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni. This year we'll have special offers and events just for our alumni. Former coaches, players, and staff members, go to kansasshrinebowl.com/alumni and complete the form.